Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today,
Buy gold and silver, everybody.
don't buy gold and silver. Leave it alone. Buy ivermectin instead. Now, well, today we're gonna react to a video from TYT starring Bassem Youssef talking to Jenk and Anna. You can see the title here: "Breaks Bread with Candace Owens. Is that okay?" And as much as I'm gonna hear their answers, I'm gonna try to throw my answer out there as well. But before I get started, don't forget to share support. Hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We are in that Discord right now. All pins are welcome. And obviously, this video will be linked to you. It's in the, you can see the timestamp here. It's like at the 4-minute mark. It's a long live stream, but the 4-minute mark is where we're starting at. So thus you can, I'll link it and you can look at it yourself. Yeah. All right. So let's go with the main question first. Is it okay to be around Candace Owens and talk to her and make content with her and all that stuff? Now, for me, my personal opinion is yeah, sure, but in a certain way, for my own standards, right? If certain questions are not brought up, if certain things are not answered, the questions I have for someone like Candace, it's well, hey, how'd you end up in this, going this lane? What? Is your audio? Are you talking right now? His audio is very low. I cannot hear a fucking thing he's saying. Or he's watching something. Ed, are you watching something? All right, fuck it. I'll just keep going. Yeah, I have plenty of questions I would ask Candace Owens. I want a real answer too about her apparent epiphany, existentially driven turnaround and change of heart when it comes to certain topics. I'd bring up some of her past statements and ideas, people she's worked for. There's a whole bunch of things because we can't take the risk of allowing her to adopt. Let's say Bassem Youssef has a genuine care to help out what's happening in the Middle East and ending wars and stuff like that. Let's say he has a genuine.
Are you playing something in the background? Sorry.
That's Ed blasting something, but it's quiet.
Oh, my bad.
But it's still loud anyways. But it's quiet. I'm gonna turn you down a little bit. It's not that loud, but it's like a radio playing in the background. Anyways, yeah, if you have some sort of idea of hey, I want to make the world a better place. I don't like what's happening in Gaza and Iran and the Middle East in general because I'm from there, right? Maybe for a Bassem Youssef. And if you think that, you could just hop on the platform of Candace Owens, hey, I can spread this message, and she'll in a way spread it too, right? She'll give it favor. That can always come back to bite you. It could, especially the way Candace operates, and if she fully takes over the idea of it to where now you're a backstory Bassem, and she's the actual forefront of the topic now all of a sudden, and then she starts going in other directions. That could end up fucking over the point you were there in the first place, right? It could fuck it over. But I mean, to be fair, maybe Bassem's full of shit himself for all we know, right? So I leave room for that as well. But still, let's say he's genuine. You're, in my opinion, playing with fire intellectually, and the point of getting your message out there could get muddied and kind of buried under someone like Candace Owens, in my humble opinion. Right? You can say all the words that sound correct right now, but the deeper motives and where it can go to, where it can spin to, I'd be worried a bit, personally. But let's hit play. Let's hear this out. Here is Bassem Youssef on the Young Turks. And him breaking bread with Candace Owens. Is that okay? Let's play. Here we go. Even though we know what they think.
It only counts when Anna is here.
I'm so sorry I missed it. I had to travel out of state for work, and then I felt terrible that I wasn't here.
Well, we made it up. I'm happy we're here. So that's a very Turkish thing. Like if you go to somebody's house and like you didn't stay long enough, they go, "This one doesn't count."
Yes, exactly, exactly.
So Bassem's guest hosting with us today, so that's why he's here the whole time. All right, so Anna's gonna tell us the news.
So I thought we would start off with something that is sure to be controversial for some, because working together to achieve common interests is a difficult thing to do. Teamwork does make the dream work, though. So let's get into it.
That's like a politician.
I was fired from Daily Wire that year.
Yeah.
And you had a little something to do with it.
Did I?
You did,
How come?
actually. This
How
is a
come?
story that I've never told.
Okay.
But I think you had something to do with it, but I was not allowed after I had watched you, and we should show that clip in a little bit, but you were my wake-up call to what was happening in Gaza. Wait a second, what is going on? Why are this many Palestinians dying? Woke me up to the fact that there was a huge part of the conversation I wasn't aware of. And so I went to my producer at the time and I said, we should get this guy on. He's going viral. I don't know who he is, but like I really would like to like just hear the other side. And my producer ran it up the chain, came back to me and said, we are not allowed to have Bassem Youssef on.
That's all that mattered.
Now, some on the left might not have expected comedian Bassem Youssef to sit down for a lengthy interview with Candace Owens, but he did do just that. I personally enjoyed the conversation, but unfortunately he dealt with a little bit of backlash for speaking with her. I disagreed with that backlash, and well, so did Bassem, and he.
Well, you went on Candace's show anyways at some point, right? Maybe more recently than maybe earlier than this video recording or this stream from TYT. But she went on eventually anyways, right?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. All right. Once again, I had no problems with talking to anyone on planet Earth. In fact, I think more talking needs to happen. But I want it to be like real talk, not just pleasantries and I'll fake laugh at your jokes thing, and like we'll pretend to like kind of be like best friends in a way. We're pretending like to kind of be friends on camera for the sake of it lures the audience in and gives them good feels, the good feels. It's got to be more than that because we can't take the risk, right? Candace was talking about the people being killed in Gaza, right? And it's like, well, you can't risk that happening ever, right? Anywhere. You can't allow that anywhere. So thus, you must be on your fucking toes, right? When you're talking to anyone, even if they're your best friends, when you're talking about any of these topics, you must be on point in the sense of, hey, what was that? Or, hey, let me question this because this ties directly to this other idea over here. Whatever that might be, right?
Though, if I ever go viral, I'm gonna prioritize all the people that's in my clique first, and make all these big time, whatever stuff. Like you heard Candace literally say, "Oh, he went viral. I want to have him on the show." They're gonna have to wait till last. I mean, they're not gonna get prioritized. Hell,
But you still go.
yeah, I'll talk to anyone too, but some people are gonna have to wait their turn.
I'd be more on the fly type of thing personally, but I get what you're saying. But I'd be more on the fly. It'd be contextual, basically. Like, hey, you're the center of this story. I want to hear what you think, or whatever it is, right? But if the point is to make someone else become more popular or famous, yeah, I'm not gonna lean towards Candace Owens at all. So I understand that. But I'm not. Also personally, I don't even really think about it that way. I think of ideas. And if there's people that attach themselves to certain ideas, you won. You're the person I'll be talking about here, right? That's how I think about it. Like, oh, the idea is interesting.
What if their idea is that you're going viral?
Well, I think an idea about some sort of human rights crisis happening might take precedence, or take the cake over that one, right? Unless I could look at that and move around it with psychology and stuff like that, but whatever. Okay, let's keep it moving. Here we go.
Fetted himself in a conversation with Mehdi Hassan. Let's take a quick look at that.
Why are you shaming me for being friends with some of these people?
I mean, some of them are freaks.
Why don't you like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson?
Because they've said some horrific things over the years.
So what? I mean,
why don't you like Ben Shapiro?
I mean, Piers Morgan has said the horrible things over the years.
He's not said anything close to what Tucker Carlson has said about Muslims, about Arabs, about immigrants.
And why can't we be strategic and use their platforms?
They can.
Yeah, but like
Some people do.
You don't like that. You don't like.
No, it's not that I don't like it. It's that my worry is that for the sake of one important issue, Gaza is a huge issue. We're giving a pass to these people to launder some of their other objectionable. Like I said just now, they're not disowning Trump. Actually, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm gonna have to go home and take a shower after this. I give her credit out of all of them because she actually picked a fight with Trump. She gave up her political career. So she actually put her money where her mouth is, to use a phrase. The rest of Tucker doesn't say a single anti-Trump word. He acts like the war in Iran came down from the skies. We wouldn't be in this war in Iran had Tucker not promoted Trump for president.
Yeah, Betty Assange just... How are you here, man? You shouldn't be here. You should do something else, man. Like, even his answer right there was dog shit. I get how it will work in the sense of like, hey, man, they might take your credibility and use it for their own platform to sell some other bullshit, right? Which I agree with. But he didn't go towards the first thing, which is, in my opinion at least, authenticity. Are they authentically like going at these topics because they care so much about it? Is that their real motivation? If the answer is no, then that's a no-go, right? As far as the idea of there's some sort of voice to be used or whatever. And then also, like, yeah, on a moral level, it's like, you can't use them. I don't care how bad they are. You don't use people. That's morally, to me, reprehensible. You can't use and abuse people. So, many levels, this is all wrong. And of course, they're going to do it through this political lens. Have you criticized Trump or not as a standard here? And it's like, damn, you're like missing the point of like, why do bad things happen in the world? It's because of a lack of criticism of a politician? Or is it a lack of authenticity and genuine change towards trying to make the world a better place? All right, let's say you fucked up, you made a mistake, whatever, and now you want to turn things around and make the world a better place. Like, well, you have to see that authenticity to it, right? It can't just be, I said words on my platform, so now I'm good. I'm all good now. Like, what made you turn around? Like, what got you here? It can't be matter of fact. I listened to Bassem Youssef talk out loud. And you know what? I agree. Now I'm like this now. Because Candace didn't just do like a, hey, on this topic, all right. Candace went like a full, like, and Tucker too, went like a full direction of like, now it's all these other topics are just like in the same category now. Of staring at Israel, whatever, staring at the Talmud for Candace, right? USS Liberty, like all of a sudden it's like all these kind of stereotypical things that people that were on the internet and more savvy already were aware of. These guys are like hawking it now like a fucking t-shirt at a ball game. Like just walking up and down the fucking rows like, hey, $10.99 for a t-shirt. They're doing that with the whole quote unquote Israel topic. So yeah, Bassem, you should be more, I mean, unless you're a dumbass, I mean, you'd have to be dumb to not even consider the possibility of that. And there's the people that think they can be savvy and outsmart or outwit the idea of someone being like a trickster when they talk to you, when they talk on certain topics. But guess what? The only way to actually defeat that is honesty. So yes, you have to ask questions. On camera, off camera, whatever. Ask the fucking questions. Don't just have dinner with them and say, hey, we're friends. Ask the real questions. And they're easy to figure out. It's dumb guy logic. Anyways, there we go. I'm done rambling. Here we go.
Now, to be fair to Mehdi Hasan, since then, Tucker Carlson has apologized for his support and endorsement of Donald Trump. The conversation between Mehdi and Bassem happened prior to Tucker making that statement. But nonetheless, I thought what was really interesting about that conversation is, you know, I wouldn't call it a divide, but there is a debate among people on the left who do care deeply about this issue and see an opportunity to potentially work with people that we typically disagree with on other issues wholeheartedly. However, others say, I've got hangups about the past. Maybe it doesn't make sense to work with them. Maybe they have bad intentions. I'm in the camp of, if you can find or build a coalition that can apply enough pressure to change our system of government so it's not controlled by a foreign entity, to save people's lives, by the way, all across the globe, and when you really think about it, I'm gonna go in that direction.
First, I mean, there it is to a T. There it is to a T. Now, with Anna's statement right there, right? Don't you have to believe that other person believes it? Right? You can't build a coalition if you suspect the other person's going to like trick you or play you later on, right? You can't just join them, right? You can't have a coalition of in your mind someone that's going to fucking use this as to parlay into something of some sort of self corruption or personal venture that has nothing to do with your fucking coalition. Nothing to do with the motives of it or the statements of the fucking coalition. Just say, I'll use this as a platform to leapfrog to the top and then use that for my own vices versus, genuine, I care about this topic a lot. Go ahead.
What happened to the TYT coalition? They used to have like this white guy who was like also a co-host. They had a bunch of other co-hosts and subdivisions. What happened to their coalition?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Remember TYT used to be a big program with like many. It wasn't just Anna and Shank. There was like other people.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
there's Jimmy and Ben Mankiewicz and John something and yeah.
So what happened to their own They talking about coalition. What happened to their own coalition?
Well, they started sucking ass. It started becoming transparently ass cheeks, so they had to turn around and try something different. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like that would also scream like, hey, are you actually genuinely about these topics? I mean, that's the first thing that should be done, I would think, right? No matter how good or bad their answers sound, are you genuine in the first place? That's what's required, I would think.
I mean, they're either naive or incompetent, right? So, but they're
But I think they do know what they're doing. In my opinion.
I
Hi, James.
I agree. There's this fame. People always make excuses. Oh, maybe they didn't know. Maybe that's their business to know. I agree that they do know what's going on.
We've seen them like shift before.
I just hear the way Jank talks, and I'm just like, man, he sucks at this. Anna's better at this than he is. Anna will put some bass in her voice to sound more like, oh, I'm really angry about this, or I'm really about this, right? Jank, it just looks like plastic. It looks plasticky, and the words he uses sound like a PR agent instead of, concerned political guy, right? But all right, let's
What are his other choices? He could go become, a streamer for another entity, right?
He could be genuine. He could do that. That'd be a start. Be genuine
and lose money.
Yeah,
and
yeah, because the curtain's closed someday, right? So yeah, you might lose money. Yeah, be honest, be genuine. All right, let's apply.
Just be real.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
First of all, a shout out to Mahdi Hassan Habibi. I love you. We have this friendly argument. It's friendly banter. It's very lively. But here's the thing. I know that some of those people said horrible things about us in the past, but I'm willing to actually work with someone who wants me out of the country tomorrow against someone who wants me dead today. And also, to be fair, there was this conversation between Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson where Megyn Kelly tells Tucker Carlson, I realized that I have been manipulated and people just want me to go on this Muslim hate on and on and on, and then I'm just like recalibrating, rethinking everything that I was being told. So this is a win.
I'm sorry. What was it? I was going to do a video on this too. The clip about Haitians from Megyn Kelly, right?
Yep.
And then her and Tucker's apology to Muslims, like, but you're doing the same. You're doing the same thing with.
You have to look away
Haitians,
from this thing over here. Yeah, it's like that's why I'm just kind of like. So is it only about Muslims that you're worried about? Is it a Muslim thing? Is it an Arab thing? Is it a tribal thing?
Well, it's like if you felt like you were manipulated before with this other topic where it was a different identity, social identity, right, of Arab or Muslim. Why are you doing the same exact like the core of it's the same fucking thing, just different aesthetics of the ethnicity or of the religion. The same, like it's just the same fucking thing at the core of it. So like, how are you falling for this? You're not asking questions about it, and that looks like, I mean, blatantly to me sus.
That's what I'm saying. Shifty.
And I guess Bassem's looking for word sake, I guess. So like, hey, she's saying words that are better than before, or the outcome is better over here than it would be if I, let him go or work with someone else. But where's the authentic righteousness? What's your point here? Can he sit in front of Megyn Kelly and say, yo, yeah, this statement right here, you're wrong on this. You're very wrong. And then confront her on it. Can he do that? It doesn't have to be mean, just in the sense of like, hey, well, listen, you apologize for the way you were talking about Muslims in the past and Arabs in the past, but now you're doing this thing with Haitians, and it's like the same thing. Like, what's your reason for, like, how to make that make sense? And then the reaction to that from hearing that question from Megyn Kelly should give you a lot of answers that you might be looking for if you're looking for authenticity and actual real change, not photoshopped, makeshift, plasticky solutions where people start saying words out loud as like the win. Hey, man, people are talking about Israel now in words, but in practicality and actual policy, nothing's really changing. But in words, though, like they're saying words out loud now. They're saying words out loud now. So things got better. Like, is it actually better? And would these, I guess, allies stand in the way of, or even call out more than words? Like, Gaza was being brought up, but then there's like this whole, okay, board of peace. Now all of a sudden they stop talking about Gaza, right? Even though Gaza's still eating shit. But hey, they said the words like, hey, they're going to do like a peace panel. Hey, Trump said, you know what? We want a memorandum of understanding with Iran. Does it change the actual geopolitics really? Not too much. We're still seeing the same things happening, right? But they heard the words they wanted to hear, so you know what? It's good enough. And when I hear that between content creators that know better because they use their words for a living, right? The talkers use their words for a fucking living. They know what the point is. The point is the fucking audience, to get them to go back to sleep and say, oh, okay, things are better now. There's a, board of peace. Exactly.
Yeah, and especially Bassem Youssef. He's a comedian.
Exactly.
And he's a very charismatic guy, very likable. So I'm not denying any of that. Like, I understand why people like him. It's funny.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, it almost feels like something weird's happening here.
I mean, I hope
I don't like it. It smells fishy.
Fair enough. I hope not, but I don't know the guy. I haven't watched enough of him. I've seen several things, right? I've covered several things on here, but I don't know him enough.
He's got a big following.
But that goes with anyone. I hope they're not doing something scandalous with, especially on of life or death topics like these seem to be when it comes to geopolitics. But all right, let's hear more. Here we go.
And this whole purity test, like if you said this in the past, I'm not going to work with you. I'm happy to work with someone who hate my guts today. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to, and I'm willing. Maybe when I work with him, maybe this shift will happen. And if it doesn't happen, let's get this foreign influence out of the picture, and then we can fight together. I'm happy to do this. But this kind of purity test, I'm not going to talk to Candace, I'm going to talk to Tucker. I think we are just limiting ourselves. I mean, look at the Zionists. They don't care. They work with the left and the right. They have Barry Weiss for the left, and they have Ben Shapiro for the left. To the right. They go and they wave the flag of Judeo-Christian values for the right, and it's like, hey, we have the biggest gay parade for the liberals. They're working the game. They don't care. I think in politics you shouldn't be too sensitive. And we have seen people tearing each other apart in political debates, and then they work together. I mean, look, for example, at Ted Cruz, who had been, him and his wife, humiliated by Trump. And he's just like,
I know, but I mean, you've got to have a little bit of self-respect.
Yes, but none of those people did that extreme. The most these things is like, Muslims are this, Muslims and that, and then many of them now are actually backtrack. It's like, wait a minute, I have been manipulated. Maybe I should think this through. So to find that opportunity and not take it and just like sit out in our corner sulking about what they have said in the past, I think it is not strategic, and I think we should grow up.
Things that's literally being said in the present that you're choosing to ignore because you only care about what, Palestine and Muslims.
But also,
that's ridiculous.
But also,
sorry,
who said sit back in the corner and just watch them from a distance? Like, no, if you have the opportunity,
nobody.
Yeah, sure, sit down with them. I would definitely do that. Like, yeah, I'll sit down with you. Let's talk.
But the problem was never the fact that the conversation's happening. The problem was never the fact that they're interacting with these people. It's more about what is actually being said in these interactions. Are you just keeping it to the things that you agree on? That's not a real conversation.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah,
like,
that is it to a T. That's it's. I mean, I would if I'm like one of these political guys that's mentally like a strategist, the way I go about things. I'm sorry, bro. The people that were getting it wrong for so long, do you want them to be like the new providers of solutions? Because that's what you're setting them up to be in a way. You're saying, here's me, Bassem Youssef, who's credible, right? I'm a credible guy. I got this right before these guys did. I'm credible. And now you're saying, hey guys, take this credibility. Now it's yours. Now your fan base and your followers will look at Candace or Tucker and be like, or Megyn Kelly and be like, hey, they're getting this right. Okay, they're legit now. And in fact, they're now the providers of solutions because they have a bigger audience than you, Bassem, right? They have a bigger audience. You got some momentum as the last couple of years, right? For sure. I didn't hear this guy until a couple of years ago, honestly. He's got some momentum now, but still, these guys are still bigger on a platform level. And instead of you going on their platform to showcase, like, hey, here's what, in his opinion at least, right? Here's what's right and wrong about this whole topic here. And, you know, the idea of someone authentically, like, moving towards the solutions of this problem, right? Instead of that, it's more so you're just bringing your audience to them, and then they become the new a figurehead in a way, a trustworthy figurehead, because you know they're not fully government working for brainwash, whatever you want to call it, right? They're not fully all in with Trump and Kushner and and whoever the fuck in the administration. Yeah. Like, see, look, they're not that. They're regular people. These guys are regular people that just, now they got it right, though. They got it right. But then later on, they'll start leading you, in my opinion, they'll start leading you in a weird direction to where it's actually counterintuitive, or what's the word? It works against the thing that you claim to be looking for. Potentially. I definitely see that with Megyn and Candace. Tucker in words sounds a little bit different, but still, I can see that guy going, hey, man, JD Vance. Hey guys, JD Vance. Meanwhile, it's like, this guy's a part of the administration. What the fuck?
Just this idea of, issue-based coalitions. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, so we enter this like kind of I don't know, bubble when we're talking to these people, like this this chamber where like we only discuss these things and then we walk away and we don't discuss anything else because we just agree on this one thing. Isn't that kind of silly? But that's not how life works. No. Like, people are gonna like talk about other things. Other shit's gonna come up. There might be conflict.
If you're taking a look at it from a larger sense of view, you're absolutely right. But there's some chambers where, like, such as like voting chambers, stuff like that, where.
But that's not a real thing. That's not dialogue. That's not.
I'm not like the biggest.
Just casting votes.
I think people put way too much importance on laws, because it's how they're implemented and it's how they're judged that like really determines what really goes down. But it is, as in terms of like, putting that law into the books in the first place, your coalition can actually come together for short periods of time and actually, get this thing on paper and then move on, right? You're absolutely right for the long term, something like that.
But it's not even about the long term. To me, it's like when you're talking about it being issue based, meaning what if like on another quote unquote issue, these people have a horrible point of view on it.
Depends on what
so we're not supposed to discuss that at all? I should just be like, no. When I talk to Megyn Kelly, I just talk about how she used to be against Muslims, now she's pro-Muslim, not her current opinions on Haitians, or third world invaders or whatever it is. Like, that's just weird. Like, why can't all of it be?
because we can
in
as somebody
conversations.
like that, we can create a document that says at this time we all agreed that on this particular issue.
But who
right?
cares about that if there's horrible things being done in the other place? Like, it all matters, and it's all happening at the same time. The other issue doesn't stop just because we're not voting on it. That's not how life works.
You're right that it's not the whole answer, but it can be a significant portion of moving things forward.
But how can that be if you're making compromises with other people's lives? That's crazy.
And especially where they turn these, like, once again, the thing with Gaza, Palestine in general, in the Middle East and all that stuff, if it gets parlayed from Megyn Kelly, let's say Megyn Kelly, hypothetically, let's say she parlays it into like, hey, we need to deal with these fucking Haitians, to where it's like you're getting the same thing just in a different form or different social form, right? Now it's against Haitians instead of Gaza or hyper pro Israel or whatever the fuck the idea is, right?
Yeah.
To where you led to in a way your own demise of your own principles in the first place by allowing her to skate by with these fucking opinions. If you hear them, right? If you hear about them. So no, you can't look past. You cannot look past these things. They should be questioned.
Without reason. You're turning it without reason, not without reason. Like if we got together to sign this document, and you're right that it does. I completely agree that it does kind of like create a pathway for people, but that's really the audience's fault, not the fault of the people who came together to create that document.
It's a mixture of things. It's a mixture of things.
A mixture. I would agree.
I blame the audience too. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
they have a responsibility to bear.
Actually, here's a great example. Actually, Barack Obama, right? What was one of his main campaign things? I didn't vote for the Iraq War, but Hillary did. I didn't vote for the Iraq War. She did over there, and Joe Biden did too, right? When he's running against them in 08, right? And it's like, look what he turned that into, dude. You gave him a license to do horrendous shit around and that is, yes, an audience thing, very much so, right? But it's also, he is doing that, so he's to blame too. So thus, if I had an opportunity to question him, but hey man, why did you turn against the Iraq War? Like, they actually grill him on like, hey, is this like genuine? Was it about, hey, human destruction? I'm against human destruction. I'm against these hyper war scenarios, the war on terror, whatever the fuck, right? Like, what? You should grill them on that to maybe stop them there. But hey, guys, listen. When this guy says "Free Palestine," I get it. Maybe make a T-shirt out of it if you want to. But on these other,
and then you voted for Afghanistan, though, right? So can you explain your vote on that?
Yeah.
And like what your position is on that too?
To showcase the flaws.
And then also, what happened with Somalia? Why did you decide to expand Africom? There's just so many questions that Barack Obama deserves to be asked. Yeah.
That's why I say, right? Like, I'm sorry, Ox, let's just be quiet.
What? Oh, yeah, no, I was just gonna say I'm a little bit confused. I get the topic of the video and, about like, going on somebody's show and, the whole thing about like asking questions about the different things, like what you believe in. The part about the coalitions, though, or even voting for Obama, I think at the time when people voted for him, like maybe either they didn't, like there wasn't a track record where he was messing up, like at least the first time, right? So
if you looked, it was there. I'll say that, but God.
Well, especially if you look at like Citibank, like is the one who helped pick his entire.
That's after he's elected, though. To be fair, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But him during the debates showcased that no, he's not some anti-war peacenik guy. He is with the war on. He's okay with the war on terror, like he said it during the debates.
And there were a few academics who had written about him. I think Glenn Reed is one of them. He's still around, but he wrote a piece about him in the 90s when he was in Chicago. And also, like in the early 2000s.
But I'm not talking about like
but
regular.
That wasn't really taken. Yeah.
Like, is that something the general public was aware and thinking about?
Well,
no, it was an alternative.
Hey, he's lying to us about his position on Iraq. I think overall, if you thought he was lying,
It was
then
on national TV, the debate where he said that with John McCain. That was on national TV when he said it during the presidential debates. But I could see someone like
Okay.
missing that maybe. But the most you heard probably publicly was that, oh my God, he smoked weed in college, or hey, he was born in Kenya. was
No.
the other
Yeah.
ideas? Like it's something
Yeah.
stupid, right?
No, Black Agenda Report was doing coverage on Barack Obama even while he was running, because Glenn Ford was also writing against him specifically,
Even
and was openly
things.
disagreeing with. But yeah, I know it's very small, but still, it counts.
No, I
in
was
terms of,
gonna say like
Mhm.
even more tacit than that is what was Democracy Now, which I used to watch back like in that time period. I was watching them basically, and there was like small little, but worthy of like, hey, ask a bigger question from here, right? Ask a bigger question from these small details of potential problems, right? But not everyone's like watching those things, right? That is alternative.
No,
media,
no, no,
basically.
no. That was like super niche, like kind of, yeah. Not really.
So I don't see a problem about coalitions. I think a coalition can be very useful for a topic to or for a specific vote in order to get the vote. If one were to do that. Now I do hear that within this conversation, where the conversation is about you should also you shouldn't be like blocking yourself from talking about other things, and I agree with that. But I never really pictured a coalition in that context. I always picture coalitions like, okay, let's say for a while there was that topic about like Medicare for all or something, right? Like let's say people wanted that, and they are from different parties, if that was the case. And sure, we could all vote for that and agree. And we know we disagree on other things, but I don't see anything
but
wrong
wouldn't
with
you
that.
like to know? Sorry, but wouldn't you like to know if the people who would be for Medicare for all, they want to fund it using, selling weapons to other countries to hurt other people, because then that money will go into their healthcare.
Yeah, well,
Wouldn't you want to
yeah,
know if there's people like that in your coalition?
Should have a
so
standard at least.
just a clarifying question about that.
Okay, sorry.
I'm
just saying.
When you ask that, I mean, is that part of that bill, or is that a part of it, or is it just
But
another position that they hold?
that would affect the way that the next step would be, right? How do you fund this? And then you have this other coalition of people now who might be the majority in this other coalition that you thought you were a part of, and now they're like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. We'll just sell extra weapons or whatever, and that will also help fund the Medicare for all.
Well, I guess for me it depends on if it's a part of that bill or not, because
But what if that coalition leads to this other funding mechanism for the thing that the coalition established?
well, that other thing would not be. I don't think it's. I guess you could call it related, but I don't think that
But it's
the
completely related
coalition
because
would have to
the
do
next thing that
everything
happens.
adjacent. They wouldn't have to do. They wouldn't have to
That's the
agree on
problem with
that. Right?
work. That's the problem with being this artificial vacuum while you're engaging in a conversation about this one thing.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that's the fault.
I think what you're talking about is
That's the
people.
very problem with that.
But well,
Because what happens next?
yeah, what happens next? But I mean,
Yeah.
are you actually talking about like a corruption of things as opposed to like, hey, we're getting together to do something? Like,
No, I'm talking about who are you working with, getting together with to do this thing, and what happens next?
so you would come up
Being
with
used?
this bill, possibly. I'm not as in detail about like how bills get
But I'm
passed.
saying in a
But
hypothetical
you
scenario,
would
though.
do this without any funding plan or something, or that's not
It's
part
not
of.
about not having a funding plan. I would just also like to know where the people in this coalition that I'm a part of, like where they're at. Yeah, I would do my research. I would ask questions.
Are the coalition people even a part of that type of decision? So what I mean by that is, like, I
Maybe I could
vote
provide
on anything that I
maybe I could
can,
put,
like vote on.
yeah.
There's do you want this or do you not want this?
I
And
think
we all
I think what
get
helps
together and
here
say,
is
yes,
to
I want
actually,
it. But like if it's not on the options, then unless I'm like a lawmaker
Yeah.
myself, or like, then that's not really a part of even that coalition's.
Let's look at a real life example where this is happening. So grab a
No,
flyer.
that hypothetical is very important though, because you're still not answering my question. So before Ed goes on a tangent, I'd like my question to be addressed.
Yeah. So
I think it is
to
exactly
that
the same.
question is, are the people of the coalition lawmakers, or are they like people just
It doesn't matter.
voting?
It doesn't matter, because whether you support the lawmaker or you are the lawmaker, you're still supporting the thing. So even as the person supporting the lawmaker, it's you have to do your research too. You're not just blindly going along with something.
Yeah, but if you're talking about like the funding for it, if it's not already established what the funding for it is, then even if you are, let's say, opposed to something, right? Like that would fund it. Like even if you're, and there's no plan for it up to that point, there's no, if there's no funding plan in existence,
But they can
then
even do that later
you would
on. Later on,
deny.
they could say, "Oh, we have a deficit here. This is how we would want to fund it. Now we have to vote on it." So it's like,
That's what
oh,
I'm
shoot,
saying. Like
the
they
coalition.
could just basically, if there's no plan up to that point, they could.
But isn't that? But if
just
you
make
had
it up
known
and change
what these
it.
people were thinking, but if you had known what the people that you were in the coalition with were thinking, or like had
But
explored
are they
it
even
or
part of the coalition?
investigated,
Like,
Huh?
are they even a part of that? Because
yes, I'm saying that in this hypothetical scenario, they are. So what do you do?
okay,
It's like,
if they are, sure. If they, I mean, that's why I was asking if there's even a
I think
plan
there's
or
a real
not.
life
Because
example we can examine
like if you're,
that really
I was,
that makes this hypothetical. So the thing is
yeah.
that when you have these anti-war movements and you see like hundreds of names on the, or maybe 10, 15 names on the flyer, they do this all the time. This is a very common tactic on the left. So the thing is that, right, exactly after the anti-war movement, everybody protested and went home. That's a good question, Sebs. What happens next? Are we just having a little club here so we can next week have a speed dating event, which DSA does all the time? Or are we really moving things together? So the thing is that your question also asks about the financing is not inappropriate, because you could see organizations like PSL, they're always doing these. They'll do the same thing with their daughter organizations. They'll create these fake coalitions. So coalitions can be used for good or bad, but I do think it's very helpful, right? I want you guys to return to your
but how about
conversation.
just simple?
I
How
think
about
that
in the
this
federal level,
actual
right?
example.
But if it's a federal
Go ahead.
Medicare for all thing, it would be the Congress people and Senate that would vote on everything, correct? So they would kind of build these Medicare for all coalition or what have you,
So think
and then
of-
they
so
decide
think of an
to figure
actual
out different
Medicare
ways
for
to
all
fund it.
coalition.
Those are
That's what I'm
lawmakers.
talking
then.
about.
You're not talking about like people like trying to convince their lawmakers. You're talking about the
No,
actual.
I'm talking about the lawmakers, like they or whoever they motivate the lawmakers. It usually starts small, right? The small communities, and then you get to more like the city council stuff, and then you get to the state government, and then you go to the more federal level. Correct? Like there's levels to it in terms of like pressure.
And bad for others, right?
Yeah,
Coalitions
so I'm
are
saying
something.
like that lawmaker is supposed to represent the pressure that they should be feeling from their constituents. Ideally,
are
I'm saying if
coalitions
it
good
works
for
the way that
anything?
it's supposed to. What?
Or are they always bad? Are coalitions good for anything, or are they always bad?
I'm not saying are they always good or bad. I'm just asking about how you conduct yourself within the coalition. Are you going to investigate how everything works, or are you just going to kind of go along with it and then be surprised when the people that you were, holding hands with suddenly reveal themselves to be capable of things that maybe you would not support?
Yeah, I viewed what she was saying
Yeah.
as being neutral. Like it's neutral. It depends on like how good it is, how good the actual coalition is, based on her
how
standards.
it's conducted.
And I have my own standards too, where it's like, yeah, that is definitely a determinant for me. It's like money. Like money's neutral. It's money, right? But you
Yeah.
can use it to like buy a bomb to blow someone up. You can use it to feed the homeless, whatever, right? You can use money. It's neutral. It's more about what you do with what you have. But yeah.
And it's not even the word coalition. It's more of like issue based, like one issue based. So it's like you're kind of putting yourself in this, I don't know, you're like enclosing yourself. Like don't think about anything else. We're just voting on this thing. It's like, okay, cool. But like, I don't know. It's just, that seems kind of weird to me. It's like, so we're not going to talk about anything
No,
else?
it's true for this community itself. This community is kind
What
of like
happens
a
next?
This community is kind of like a coalition. isn't it?
Yeah.
The YellBro community. We're
Yeah.
agreeing to
Ed,
come
I have
together.
cult rumors on me, bro. You can't be saying shit like that, okay? Listen, I'm drawing.
It's just a real question.
We don't agree on anything. But
Well,
the like I don't see anything wrong with agreeing with one thing, but I think from your example, I think it's not even clear for like there's things that weren't clarified on the topic itself, right? So then that gives a lot of space for people to do shady things, right? So it's not even whether it's the funding for it, it's not really clear what's being voted on, and that I do think is very dangerous. I see that very often when I see things about like either getting together for certain unions or sometimes when I see on oh, let's get rid of capitalism, we'll put in another, like then
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
have like
and corruption
you know,
within the unions, right? Like the misuse of money in the unions by union heads.
yeah, like basically like the whole like when the solution is so vague that like either they're just fighting against something or they don't actually care what the next step is, right? They're just like, all right, let's just get rid of
Well, in this
this.
coalition, right? In the YellBro
Then
coalition, me
Which
and
happens too
Tenderlungs went
much.
off to grow
it
weed.
gets used by like shady people, like because you don't know the actual plan, right? So then they're gonna fill in the blanks. It's not gonna be what you want. Like you don't actually
Well,
agree.
yeah. Well, that's what Bassem Youssef is saying. For just to bring it back to the video, that's what he's saying about like the Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens kind of just using their platform as a way to spread his message, and he'll get a bigger audience where he can tell them, more about his perspective. It's like, I don't know if it works that way, dude.
That could definitely
I
turn
don't
into
know
Game
if
of
it
Thrones.
works that way.
100%
Of like
can turn into
100
Game of
seasons.
Thrones. 100%.
Yeah.
To where someone backs you to take down let's say there's like an emperor, and you team up with these guys to take down the emperor because you're against, emperors itself. But in reality, your teammate you're working with is taking down that other emperor for the sake of him becoming emperor or her becoming the new leadership. So thus, they'll help you knock them down to become the new thing. And thus, you're ending up with the same problem again, potentially.
And they keep saying this thing about like how Tucker Carlson has done more for the Muslim community than any mainstream host ever. And I'm like, what is
Don't
this?
listen to
That's
them.
why it's just
Don't listen to
it's
them.
kind of baffling to me. I'm just
It's baffling.
It's doing
to listen
extra.
to
It's
them.
doing extra, which is different than being real. They're not being real about it. This
Exactly.
whole scenarios. It's PR moves. And thus, I actually think authenticity is the actual, not the answer by itself, but it's a main part of the answer. You might have to actually start there.
I would when they say the only.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they say Tucker Carlson is the only one speaking up for the Muslims. That'll be great.
Oh, please, I mean, let's just cut the
They
shit.
may
Like it
PR it that way, right? I do that.
it's just like, what are we doing?
It's Jimmy Dore screaming, "I'm the only guy that did this." But that has a platform, right? There's like a caveat to it.
Yes, the caveat.
It
Yeah,
has
the
an audience,
qualifier.
right? The only
Yeah, added
guy
in there,
with an audience who said this.
No, that has a large audience, a larger audience.
Yeah. It just
A
kind of like
decent sized platform.
kind of like sours this whole revolutionary angle they're trying to portray there. But
Where's
okay,
the platform?
all right.
He was thinking about TYT. I mean,
I
not
know.
TYT. What's his name? American Vagabond. T-Love.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. Press.
Let's keep playing. Here we go. I love this.
Yeah, he says a lot
conversation.
more.
Very interesting. Here we go.
It's politics. We need to put our feelings aside. We have a bigger issue, which is that Zionist control of the government, of the media, and we just cannot just like
when the curtains
instead of
close,
just sitting there, it's like, no, I'm not going to talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of strong opinions on this, and I'm on the exact opposite end of that spectrum as Mehdi is. And by the way, look, there's an example. So I massively disagree with Mehdi and AOC on that issue, and I'm still friends with Mehdi. I don't have to hate him just because we disagree on an issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Or we disagree on many issues. So what?
I think
probably
the
not real
concerns he
friends,
raises
honestly.
are totally
They're not,
valid,
probably.
right? And the thing
Right,
is, if you're not
business associates.
consuming Tucker Carlson's show or watching Candace Owens or tracking, the subtle, but they do exist, the evolutions that they've gone through on certain things, including their perceptions of Muslims, then it's easy to believe that they're just the same person they were like several years ago. But people do grow. Like, I do believe in redemption. That doesn't mean that I'm on their side on everything.
I'm sorry, that's gonna fuck my head up right there. Redemption. Now, I can't speak for others. I can only speak for myself. My idea, the process of redemption is what it ain't like changing your words on your platform. It's not actual redemption. It's not actual epiphany of epiphany of an evolution, right? Of getting better at something or being better. Not getting better, being better. I'm sorry, you can't you can't let it sit in these shallow fucking areas. I mean, a fucking puddle on a street corner, like that shallow. I can't stand it, man. I'll keep lying now. That bothers me, man. Like the shit I feel as though I went through, and they use the same words for something that's so fucking ew. Here we go. Fuck it.
Candace Owens are tracking
redemption.
You know, the subtle,
really?
But they do exist. The evolutions that
Those
they've gone through
on
on certain things, including their
Murder's
perceptions
Row,
of
man.
Muslims,
Actually
then
redeeming
it's
themselves.
easy to believe that they're just
It's
the same person they
It's not
were
fucking
like
close.
several years ago. But people do grow. Like, I do believe in redemption. That doesn't mean that I'm on their side on everything or I agree with them on everything. But on this issue, which is a pretty freaking important issue, we do agree.
Yeah, so look, I'll probably go further than both you guys, and that's not easy to do. So look, a whole bunch of things, and a surprising admission in here coming up in a minute that links apparently back to you, which I didn't know until I just saw that clip. But first, I don't understand the conversation. Like, I get, like, so a lot of people in our audience too, they hate Tucker, they hate Marjorie Taylor Greene and Candace from the past. Okay, I get that part, right? So, but it's like Tucker, for example, called the Iraqis monkeys, right? Back in the day, right? So, but now when he changes and he goes, I'm sorry for what I said before, and now I think it's totally unfair to attack Muslims, and Muslims pray 5 times a day. I'm not gonna hate a guy who prays 5 times a day, he says that. And
No. The thing with the Iraqis were killing them en masse. Fuck calling them monkeys. That's a problem too. But fuck that. Like, whatever. They're blowing them up, and he advocated for that. That is a weird level of thing that requires a different flavor of redemption and epiphany of like what's better, right?
Yes.
In fact, his own sense of Christianity is on the fucking line here. If you take it seriously, it's like, hey man, you know, that thing, I messed up. Right now, I figured out the Christian thing to do, right? Which is to not be like that towards other religions and other people, right? I was like, well, then back then, were you Christian? What happened? Were you actually Christian back then? Like, put those in question. If you want like real redemption, real like breaking down of your own thoughts or mistakes or past beliefs or behaviors, like really go there. Because guess what? It's important, because guess what? Tucker's important. As a human being, he's important. So you know what? Treat it as so. Treat it as so.
He is.
Not as a celebrity face and name thing. Treat him as a human being. Like, yeah, take him seriously as a human being. And thus, you would ask him questions. I don't care if it's on camera or off camera. Ask the fucking questions, please. Someone. But instead, I think we're getting nothing in the background. And in the foreground, we're getting political pleasantries. We're friends now. We had dinner. We're friends now. We're getting that shit. And I'm like, holy fuck. I mean, taking something that's so important to me. Once again, this is a personal thing for me. Very important to me. And turning it into this fucking puddle on the side of the fucking corner of the street. It is what it is. All right, I'll hit play. Sorry. Here we go.
I just want to say,
Good.
and even if you did ask him those questions, like that you were laying out in terms of just, oh yeah, like how did your mind change from wanting to like advocate for eliminating other human beings? Like,
yep.
I think if he was really asked about that, even not in a way to like make him feel like shit about it, just more of like, oh, like let's have an honest conversation about this, because this is why I think you're suspicious, and maybe I'm I'm seeing it wrong, but like, can you answer for this stuff? I think that Tucker's reaction, and this is just my guess, I think that he would get very defensive and very cruel.
I agree. I was
very quickly.
I don't know about cruel,
Very
but
quickly.
definitely defensive.
Yeah,
100% off rip.
Yes.
I believe that one for sure.
And then I think he would like snap a little bit. Like I've just seen him act in a way that is less kind than maybe he comes off to be when he gets directly confronted.
Well,
so
there's a way to in my opinion, like whether on camera or not, to ask him questions in a certain way to where you can be like, well, hey, Ben, I've seen your past things. You said you're sorry for it, but you understand why I might not trust you, right, Tucker? Whether it's on camera or not. That is a worthy question to ask right there. Like, hey, you get why I might not trust you, right, Tucker? So thus, the following questions, you can view them as inauthentic or bullshit or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but I'm telling you right now, you can see someone who's being genuine with you that has questions about certain behaviors and like in this whole little turnaround that you're doing now. You can see why someone might not trust that, right, Tucker?
Yeah.
And if he says no,
right?
then it's like, that'd be interesting if he said no to that.
And that should be encouraged, right? Because if he is from that world and he is really revealing the way that it works, then he would really encourage people to be very inquisitive and even questioning him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, because these people are, gross or just kind of secretive and blackmailing each other or whatever. So it's like, yeah, you would want to be questioned. You would want more inquiry.
Yep.
More hypotheses.
But he might posture himself like Jordan Peterson, standing in front of a lady asking about feminism, where he's like, "Oh, you're the enemy. Gotcha. All right, I'll go at you like you're the enemy," type of thing. Which is why that question should come out first, right? Hey, man, you understand why someone might question you, right? They could be like a person that's genuine and concerned and worried that you might be tricking us or playing us. You understand why they might come out initially like off rip and fucking question you about things, right? You get that, right, Tucker? That's why you ask that first.
You would have to.
Because after that, now it's
and that would be a good thing.
Yes.
You want audiences to be like that. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Actually, that's like, oh, good. Okay, people are like using their own fucking minds. Good.
So that's there should be no, on paper, there shouldn't be any more freaking out after that. It's like, okay, someone doesn't trust you. They're kind of interrogating you. And guess what? Based on Tucker's answers about his own past, it's worthy of interrogation by his own standards. It's there. Yeah. So thus, someone should be able to do that without getting like, cold-shouldered or cut the camera or cut the microphone or,
like, look, son, settle down, son. Like kind of trying to belittle them.
Yeah, exactly. So, once again, dumb guy logic cleans the shit up quite easily. But these guys are not even going there. They're not going there. In fact, they should be concerned. Like, hey, I have followers who are like, "Yo, Bassem, what the fuck, bro? Like, Tucker said this in the past. Tucker did this in the past. Tucker's doing this now. Whatever, right?" Where he's like, you know what? Listen, these people. I'm not asking for fans. I mean, other than for comedy, but other than that, like, I'm not asking for fans in the sense of like my beliefs. I just believe these things. And the more and more I hear people, I'm like, man, they got a point. I should be asking you some questions. I should ask you these questions for the sake of understanding so that, your PR win from me giving you a boost or giving you a sense of credibility doesn't lead to something also horrible for someone else or for other people or for my people in his mind, right? So like he should be like on top of this shit, honestly, instead of like, clinking fucking champagne glasses at dinner. It should be a little bit more than that, right? Because the negatives are the worst you would think, right? Of like what happens when propaganda spreads and people start buying into it, and what happens as a result. Like that's very dark and dire when it comes to life, social life, right? So thus you can't risk it. You have to ask. You have to. There's no way around it. There is no like, well, listen, we agree on these topics, but once we get this topic done with, we'll come back to this. We'll come back to our disagreements about Haitians later on. Like, it's the same.
I don't know. I can't compartmentalize. I'm just not one of those people. For me, it's just like, and maybe not the best strategy. And I there's people who disagree. I'm just kind of like, I feel it right now. It needs to be addressed. And again, that's not always the best strategy.
Well,
I'm not saying it always works, but I prefer. Yeah.
To be fair,
I don't know.
To be fair, you and I are both doing that. Right? We are compartmentalizing, not in the sense of like we're doing it, but in the sense of like we understand these guys might be doing that. So thus we have it somewhere in our minds, right? We have the ability to do so in our minds. So, thus we can recognize it in others. And thus, because of that, like it should be examined, in my humble opinion. Like that should be examined for the sake of empathy, right? To understand, like, hey,
absolutely, but
where they're coming from, right? Or why they're saying what they're saying.
But I feel like it's not helpful to do that with this type of thing where it's because all of it is so connected. It's such a fluid topic that touches everything, and so for me, those artificial parameters, I don't even see them.
Fair enough. No, I agreed. It's just more so like the idea of empathy and like, hey, why is Bassem or Candace or Tucker or Cenk or Anna, why are they doing what they're doing? In a way, I don't know.
That's why I'm like, is this tribalism? I don't get it. I don't
exactly. Yeah.
I know that's what I'm saying. It's like this is shifty shit. It's weird. I feel like I'm being sold a fake goods. I'll say, and I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep playing. Here we go.
I said before, and now I think it's totally unfair to attack Muslims. And Muslims pray 5 times a day. I'm not going to hate a guy who prays 5 times a day. He says that. And Candace has been manipulated to hate Muslims, and I'm sorry for my role in that. Well, on that issue, what else do you want? If you say that's not enough, you're being
to believe them
and purposely unreasonable.
But more than that,
you want to believe. Like anyone can say words, Cenk. It's about, do you believe them when they say it? If the purpose is strictly for fixing my PR image, doesn't that make you like sour on it a bit? It's like hearing the melody and the high note of a song, but they're saying, boats and hoes, cocaine and hookers is the hook. Beautiful melody, but the line is coke and hookers, and you don't like that. You don't vibe with that, right? So thus you have to like call it out. Like, yeah, I can't get the full feeling of that experience because these words take me out of it. The same goes with Tucker.
Actually, ass and titties.
Whatever. Same goes with Candace and Tucker. Like, yeah, they're saying words that people want to hear, I guess. But what if they're doing it because they think you want to hear it? Isn't that a scary proposition, Jake? Then again, Cenk does that himself, so that's probably why he's question.
We know who he is. I was more just like looking at Bassem, like, who are you?
Hey, I'm looking at all of them. Anyway. Yeah, listen, I'll leave room for all these.
No, I understand that. Yeah, but those two, Cenk and Anna, they're so horrible.
A little transparent, right? A little bit transparent.
Yeah, they're just so like.
All right, let's keep playing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I almost blur them out.
You're discouraging other people from ever apologizing or having a moment of realizing they were wrong and being public about it.
It is just like the purity litmus test. You just have to stop. Let the puritanical approach to politics really had to take a back seat.
100%. So first, also
the tyrannical. Okay, got it. Take a back. That should never take a back seat. Maybe you need to fix your idea of pure. Maybe fix that. If you, in my opinion, based on what I do and my idea of political purity, if you will, it never takes a backseat. In fact, it's the fucking point. It's the point to me. So there's no backseating that should ever to me. I get what he's saying, like in the sense of like, hey, we agree on, Gaza, but we have different ideas of how we do taxes, or do we have taxes at all, right? Okay. But the purity I'm looking for is about character and morals. That's what I'm looking for. And also like sane sanity, right? If I think you're out of your fucking mind, I'll call that shit out, man. And I mean, on dumb guy logic, they have to not be insane, right? You can't have someone insane running your political movement or being a party, like being a driver of your political movement, right? That can't be the case. Or your personal morals, right? Your personal morals cannot be they cannot be crossed, period. Right? That's not allowed. Right? So like on the purity level, on a puritanical idea, they have to stay pure. Otherwise, what's your fucking point? What is your point then? Bassem, what's your point then? If the idea is like, hey, they're murdering innocent men, women, and children, right? Let's say like Gaza, right? They're murdering people out here, right? And that's your problem with it. Then if it happens somewhere else, that's also a problem too, right, Bassem? And if the person that is saying, you know what, we shouldn't be doing this to Gaza, but Haiti though, we'll let it fly. You should be against. You should be like, yo, I can't stand with you in regards because you broke my principles, my morals I have here, right? Isn't that the way it on paper should work on paper? That's the way I'm going about things. Like it so like, but no one's going to ask him that question. No one's going to ask him that, which is the same thing that we're asking him to ask of Candace and Tucker or whoever, right? Like, hey, you're going to, Bassem, you're going to go talk to these guys, Tucker and Candace, and you're not going to ask these questions that might actually be worthy of being questioned. But guess what? When you don't question them, you're going to go on shows and programs where they don't question you doing it. Like, hey, man, how come you're not doing this? I mean, I guess Mehdi Hassan kind of did it, but he did it in like a politically lame way. Not really based on wisdom and principle, in my humble opinion. But still, it's like, where does where's it stop at? At what point does it stop? Is it something where it's like, hey, you're a random person on the street, so you know what? Your questions and your responses to what I do doesn't matter because you don't have a platform like Tucker or Candace or Cenk and Anna or whoever the fuck. You don't have a platform like that, so you know what? You can't question me really. And if he did, no one's going to hear about it. Like, is that part of his psychological lexicon, his psychological experience? Is that part of it? I bet he wants to view himself as different than that, right? Based on what I've seen from the guy, I hope he's not a full shit creeper. But if he's just being, in a way, socially genuine, quote unquote, then he doesn't want to see himself as a guy who ignores the regular guy, the regular lady on the street, right, in their questions, right? But what if
I don't know. He might be about his money. I don't know.
Hey, fair enough. But I can see people that they're holding more so onto the image of themselves versus the actual the thing that they claim to be, right? They hold more so onto the image. To thus, it's okay to say, "Hey, you're just a hater."
Frank, I don't trust him. Yeah.
Hey guys, you're a hater. That's why I can't answer your questions online or in the streets, right? Mm-hmm. You're just a hater. I don't want to hear you right now. I'm getting things done. You're not. Listen, I made it here on TYT. I made it here on Candace Owens show. I made it here on Tucker Carlson Network. I made it. My thing is working. Your guys' shit doesn't work, and you're just being as you said, puritanical, right? Or you're being that. You're being what's it called? Black-pilled. Everything's doom and gloom. You're being that instead of buying into what the good things that are happening right now. I can see him doing that, man. Unfortunately.
I think it's something else. I entertain that as well. That's sure. That's possible.
I leave room for it. Yeah. I don't know.
I see something else. Or I smell something else. I don't see it yet, but I feel it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The point wasn't even for a full blown. This is what I think of the guy. It's a little bit of it, but the main point was just to say, let's go through all these little rabbit holes of possibilities, and it still comes back to the same answer to me, where it's like you don't just do this when it comes to Cenk, Anna, Tucker, Candace. This is not the way to go about it. Even if you mean the most well of all most wells, right? Even if you mean that, even that route Like there's problems here, and I have critiques for it. But all right.
Yeah. And I will say that when he was talking to Mehdi Hassan about it, they talked about it for like what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, and then it was over.
Yeah.
They do a whole like 30-minute segment on this topic. So
Okay.
they go into it more, but more from like these puritanical kind of leftists who just want to stay in their tribe and like do left-right paradigm, like kind of buzzword stuff. That's what they discussed for most of it. So it's like, okay.
I love how like
Anyway.
moral purity test has become like a bad word. Like you don't want to be that. You don't want to be like a moral purist. I'm like, no, I want the exact opposite. I want someone to be like,
He said, don't be so sensitive. It's just politics.
yeah,
Don't be so sensitive. Bitch, you're sensitive.
like holy brunch.
Like, excuse me? Don't be so sensitive. Don't be human.
Exactly. Holy brunch.
Freaks.
Holy brunch conversation. They drink their cooled water. All right. What's the play? Here we
Go
go.
ahead.
Politics really had to take a back seat.
100%. So first, also look, on a personal level, I love you guys. If you're in this camp.
No, and honestly, these are
you're
the
being
most
kind of
sensitive
a
people ever. Honestly, in my opinion.
And at least the characters they play.
Yeah.
That
Well,
really-
yeah, even they're real or the characters they play, they're very sensitive. That's why they can't have certain conversations at all.
And it
in my
really becomes
opinion.
about your image, your fame
Yeah.
image thing instead of
Yeah.
like the principle of it all. Right. But all right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they're the most sensitive of all. Like fucking talking about other people being sensitive. Fine. Yeah, like I admit I'm very sensitive. But I know that. And I'm fine with that. Like that's not like a ooh, you got me. So, yeah, I might cry.
Yeah.
So, like I don't really it's just that I'm not bothered by that. But like when you're fucking bothered by that, you're the bitch. Anyway,
Well,
that's just my opinion.
that mixed with the petty reasons of why they get upset. All right. Someone makes fun of
Exactly.
Anna's
They're
hair
creating
color or
because it's like,
something.
oh, I'm being exposed.
Yeah.
Like
You made fun of my hair color, you're getting wrecked today. Or Jang's like, you made fun of my
Jeez.
suit, you're getting fucking destroyed today. I'm gonna destroy you. You support Israel. All right. Here we go.
yes. Or even just like the stuff that they let upset them sometimes. It's like yeah. It's just like, and then you go out there and you talk about like these very serious topics, quote unquote, everything's serious, but like these specific things involving people getting killed, and then, but really, you're just kind of like this petty child
Mhm.
at the grown-up table.
If there were legit motherfuckers making the news and that got like captured ears, actually, these guys would get ran at. They can't because they can't fake that. You can't just scream Israel. You can't scream Free Palestine and get away. It's not the same thing. Different worlds, man.
No.
And
Yeah.
thus, I'm curious if that standard ever makes it to these levels of fame. I'm very curious. Once again, you can't just scream a slogan and now all of a sudden you're on the team. Yeah, he's one of us.
Yeah.
You can't just with that type of legitimacy. This is not going to work out too well. But what's
Hi,
up,
James.
What's up, Here we go. Hello, James. All right, here we go.
It is just
And
like
look-
the purity litmus test. You just have to stop. The
Howdy.
puritanical approach to politics really had to take a back seat.
100%. So
You missed the
first,
fucking Madden video, James.
Also, look, on a personal level, I
hilarious.
love you guys. If you're in this camp, but you're being kind of a jerk. If somebody does something to you wrong to you in your life, right? And then they come and apologize and say, hey, I'm working to make up for that and I'm gonna help your people or you or whatever it might be. And you go, shut up, I don't wanna talk to you. Well, okay, brother, initially it was their fault. Now when you don't accept their apology and their help, it's kind of your fault. Not kind of, it's definitely your fault.
I love it how you get animated. I love
Yeah, you
that.
get
I love that,
Get
man. Your energy, man. You get it there.
I get that frustration. I used
Your
to
energy is
get very,
palpable.
very frustrated about this myself. But at the end of the day, I see it as this. Either You're with us or you're not. And if you're not, that's your right. I mean, it is what it is. But I just don't think you're going to accomplish much. And we haven't accomplished much in this country by pursuing policies purely through a partisan lens.
Yeah,
right?
look, let me
get dramatic here. Let's say Hitler existed in 2026. He's like, I have a major problem with Israel. A major problem. Like, do you join sides with like, hey, coalition to stop Israel doing crimes against humanity? Do you join up? They're to take that as like, oh, you're
the one issue.
I know.
It's the one issue coalition.
Like they're to scream like, oh, you're just trying to call someone an anti-Semite.
No, ready?
Right?
No. Hey, he apologized for what he did. Why are you laughing?
Like, what?
Stop laughing.
Because it's the one issue coalition. Okay?
He apologized. Why can't you look forward?
Honest to God.
But they agree with us on this one thing. We can do something good.
Well, that's like the question, and you work backwards from there. Like, okay, what is acceptable here? So thus, you do have standards.
That's what I want to know.
Why are you being a purist?
Well, they would say they had standards.
Puritanical.
They'd say they'd have standards at that point, right? Of like, hey, okay, Hitler's going too far. Okay, so that means there is a too far. Okay, what level is that? Where are you at with that? It's like, that's like real conversation. That's real, like that's epistemology to reach an actual answer, not just to, chum it up on a live stream,
You're not being pragmatic.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not being pragmatic here.
It's just, yeah, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. And these guys will never have to answer these.
And you're just being pie in the sky. You don't get it. You're not above like me. Okay? Above.
Well, it's like you're not being realistic, or you're not. That's childish. That's my favorite one.
I've heard that one before.
I'm tired of these, hypotheticals and thought experiments. Like, well, guess what? You can arrive at answers with these things. And let's be honest, these three people on screen right here are probably not going to be asked these questions. If there was, I guess it'd be Bassem, because he has more of a, I don't know. He's not fully, not as separated from the regular population than these two are, potentially, or Tucker or Candace.
Yeah, he's still doing shows.
Yeah.
He's still doing shows all over the place. He did 3 shows in DC last year over the summer.
All right, fair enough.
One in the National Harbor, in Maryland, and then 2 in DC.
Fair enough.
He'd be around.
But these kind of arenas that they're in right now, they're not going to ask questions like that. They're not going to go there. They're not going to say "Hey guys, no, keep recording, guys. We're going to keep talking about this topic because we didn't arrive at an answer. So we're going to keep talking about this." It's not going to happen. It's going to be TV commercial timeouts and shit like that going on. And hey, I don't want to step on Tucker's toes right now because I need him look kind of good because he's saying the words I want to hear about this topic. So let me not step on his toes. Just like we watch Jimmy do day in and day out. With whoever he's covering. He brings up Candace Owens every 5 fucking minutes to boost her up.
No, what I was saying was with Bassem, I think he does go to the surrounding areas to check out the bars or whatever, wherever he does do shows. So I guess in that degree, he might be around regular people.
Probably more so than the other two on the screen here. But,
probably more than these two in terms of that. But I think he has that kind of aura that he's that type of person, because I think he tries to give that off. I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah.
I like to get a beer. I like to watch sports.
Yeah, but the same phenomenon might happen. The thing that he's saying he should do with people on bigger platforms, right, is what his fans might do with him. As in, hey, he's saying the right message, so you know what? Don't question him. Leave him alone. Right? Don't.
Yes.
Right.
And they do. His fans do say that. They do. That's the problem.
There we go.
His fans do say that. Yeah. In real life.
Yeah. It's a fucking vicious circle at that point, I would think.
It's very annoying. Yeah.
But all right, let's keep playing. Here we go.
Jump in and make a couple more points before I get to the surprising part. So first off, you're absolutely right, Bassem. So Miriam Adelson not only gave to Donald Trump, she gave to Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Right. See, they don't care.
They don't care.
I could show you 1,000 Israel First donors that give to both sides because they're not schmucks. They're not people who are like, oh, I will do a purity test even if Israel loses. No, they're like, I gotta get Israel to win no matter what. You Republicans, Democrats, I'll work with you.
Yeah.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
obsessed.
Right?
They're obsessed ideologically.
I'm better than you. To guys who are trying to help you. Like, no, that's insane. Sorry, but it is. Secondly, our house is on fire.
Yeah.
Don't come at me with, oh, hey, I'm worried about
Stay
the
away.
leaky
I'll
faucet.
take care of it.
Brother, we're gonna deal with the leaky faucet after we put out the goddamn fire.
Right.
Okay, there's a raging inferno. Israel drags us into wars. Israel makes us pay hundreds of billions of dollars. The cavalry has arrived, right? And you say, oh, that's a ragtag cavalry. Oh, that cavalry did something wrong. Brother, bring in the hoses, let's put out the fire. Yeah. Let's take Israel out of the country, out of our government, out of our media. Then we can go back to carried interest loophole arguments, right?
A couple of
What?
But that's not the actual crux of why people might criticize us, Cenk Uygur. It's just like you picking out so-called progressive Democrats, right? And yeah, maybe they say free Palestine, or hey, we shouldn't fund Israel to this tune of amount of money or whatever. But they may say like, yo, let's fund Ukraine this tune of money and weaponry, where it's like you're actually walking backwards as you spout words that say like you're moving forward, you're being progressive, if you will. So like this is not that was not the actual context. Like the house is on fire. Let's just all, hey, Johnny and Bobby who have different ideas have buckets of water. Let them use their water on the fire, right? It's not the same context, man. It's not. It's Bobby's here to put the fire out for the sake of he bought the property yesterday, but no one knows about it yet. It's shit like that, man. Where it's like, oh, okay, the thing that you're gonna bring on after we're done with this fire, will be just as bad, maybe perception-wise worse, than the original thing in the first place, right? The original problem in the first place. So that's why, like, that's more in context. It's not, we're so desperate to take this fire out because it doesn't matter if you believe in higher taxes, lower taxes. We're just putting this fire out. Like, that's not the actual scenario that's being asked from people with critical thinking skills, or being skeptical about these characters saying, or that we're supposed to like unite with or work with. It's more so like actually about their characters. Who are they? Why are they here? And can what they advocate for lead to something horrendous later on? Although it may look like good on the surface because you took care of this one issue, although you're probably not doing that. Although it may look that way, overall, you may actually be leading to a bigger problem than you had before, or the same problem you had before. That's the real question, and these guys are not answering that, are they? They're not answering that. Instead, they're kind of straw-manning what other people, what the naysayers are saying, right? They're kind of straw-manning it. And some do apply in that direction, right? Where it's like, oh my God, I just don't like Candace Owens. You can't work with her. Some are actually doing that. But for me, at least, I'm like, I have questions about Candace's fucking character. I have questions about Tucker's character. I have questions about these people's character to where it's like, if you give them the credibility of like, these guys are helping provide an answer to the world, they may use that at some point in the future and fuck you with it. Just being honest, like that could definitely happen. In my opinion.
I have a question. You support Israel? Huh? Do you? Huh?
I support the right for Israel to exist, and
got him exposed. Got him.
Yeah. But actually, good point. Actually, because the way they even talk about Israel,
you're welcome.
It's a giant blanket thing instead of like, well, there's people there that don't like what's happening with their government, but it rarely gets brought up, honestly, in conversation and on this topic. And thus, that's another thing where you're getting fucked again because you're missing the diagnosis. And when you miss the diagnosis, you miss the fucking answer. You will not get an answer if you don't diagnose it first. I would call it impossible to do. Let's apply. There we go.
Things. Let's say, for example, they didn't apologize. Let's say, for example, they're still there in their own way. When I went into on Candace Owens, There are so many people who didn't know who I am, and they watch Candace religiously. It's like, hey, wait, I didn't know about you, and now I'm more informed.
Yes.
Oh, I like. Oh,
It's
thank
an
you so much for
audience.
what you said.
You're speaking to their audience.
Yeah, I'm speaking to their audience. And the same way when I went to, I'm not making the comparison, but Piers Morgan, on a personal level, he's a nice guy. I have so many issues with how he runs his media coverage.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. But this whole moment of me, the explosion happened on his platform for people who didn't know who I am.
Right.
So the thing is, you just like can't limit yourself in your little bubble and just sit around there as like, no, I don't like people. I
limited
need
myself.
people to be nicer. And it doesn't work this way.
I think
It's the problem isn't you talking to people. Like, yeah, talk to everyone, but it's about how you go about it. Will you tiptoe around because it's Candace Owens and make sure her ego survives the end of the episode, or will you like be real? Like, hey, I'm on your platform now. I'll be real about everything that I'm aware of.
Everything?
Everything.
Oh.
So it's not about you talking to these guys, but then again, they will pick the low-hanging fruit arguments of, hey, you should not associate with Candace or Tucker Carlson at all, right? Versus, yeah, I showed up over there, but I asked them questions and they couldn't answer them, and yeah, I guess I associated with them, but like they don't look so good. Let's put it that way. But yeah, that's what they're doing. I think that's what TYT and Bassem are picking out as the counter argument to what they're doing. That's the counter they pick out, which is what they call low hanging fruit. And okay, low hanging fruit leads to a lack of substance. What's the play there? There we go.
Pause.
And this
No
is going to
pause.
sound a little selfish,
Oh.
but I think you come across something that tears you up inside so much that you are
Oh.
willing to do anything and everything to make it stop.
Yeah.
And I personally
But that's not true. If I say, hey, Anna, you want the suffering in Gaza to end, kill this baby over here. It'll end all the suffering in Gaza. Kill this baby. If God commanded it, you'd have to say no. Your character you play on TV would say no. So it's not everything and everything. It's not everything. So thus, there's limits. So thus, let's work backwards from the extreme, right? Okay, kill a baby. Okay, no go. Blow up another country instead of Gaza. I would assume that's a no-go too for her. And just keep going backwards until you find your actual answer, which
Well-
means you didn't fucking think about it, did you? Anna? You didn't fucking think about it, did you? It's kind of like social fucking
Nick Fuentes would say he would kill the baby, but he wouldn't grape the baby.
apparently. But they're saying that there's like no limits to make this thing happen, but there are limits.
Yeah.
Like something as simple
But
as
they're
like,
fighting artificial limits that they've, like you said, they've chosen their opponents, and now they're going to spar with them.
Yep.
It's like, what? So you're going to like, oh, okay, I pick you, and you. And it's like, what?
yeah, like Bassem, if Bassem's in front of someone, right, and they're like, listen, man, we need to protect Gaza, okay? Protect and save Gaza from what's happening right now. But the West Bank, though, like, we should just let it fly, destroy them, right? He can't say yes to that one. He can't say yes to that, right? Same region, right? Different territories within the region. He can't say save Gaza, destroy West Bank. He can't go with that, right? So thus there are limits. So thus explain the limits. Why is that so meaningless to these people? And actually to the audience too. Why are those nuances so meaningless to the fucking audience too? It's incredible to me. And they wonder why they get shit fed to them all day and night. They wonder why. It's because you guys have no fucking standards. Sorry, no acknowledged standards. I bet you have standards, but not acknowledged by your own self. It's not for me, it's for you. Your own standards, they're yours. Acknowledge them, please. Give them a little bit of attention. I don't know. But apparently, no, listen, man, I'm too busy fighting, against what's happening in Gaza to pay attention to my own fucking feelings and thoughts on things. Like, imagine that. That is, to me, existentially criminal and socially dangerous. Considering what these guys can be like led to or led into, very dangerous. I think socially and existentially, yeah. Fucking holy fuck, a crime against yourself. But all right, let's play. Here we go.
Cannot stomach the endless slaughter and the absolute suffering that is being carried out right now by the Israeli government with our support, with our resources. I will do anything
Somalia,
to make it stop.
Yeah, Sudan.
I can't tell you how many nights.
Come on.
You know, doom scrolling. I can't help it. I care about the story. I want to know what's going on. I look for updates. I look for updates on Gaza all the time.
I think you're projecting.
Netanyahu just bragged about taking over more territory in the Gaza Strip. He bragged about it. Now, if I talk about it on the show the way that I am now with this tone, you're an anti-Semite. Okay, but the Prime Minister of Israel is bragging about taking over more Palestinian territory in Gaza. Okay, I will do anything to make it stop. Anything. Yeah. And if that means working with someone who doesn't believe in my reproductive rights, as Tucker Carlson does not believe in my reproductive rights, that's fine. I can fight him on that issue later. But right now, I want Israel's control of our government out, and I want to stop supporting Israel. I want to decouple.
And I want to stop paying for it.
100%. 100%.
I mean, it's saying anything but not anything, which is like what small talk dinner, brunch talk, if you will. I would do anything for this. Would you kill a baby? I didn't say that. You said anything though. Well, you know, like okay, it's like let's get real for a second, please. What would you like? Where are the limits at, please? Because us ignoring the limits of where people could go, just like I said before with Barack Obama, and hey, he's against the Iraq War. Instead of asking like, well, are there wars he's in favor of? Instead of asking that, it's just like, well, he's against this popular war right now, so thus he must be like against the things I'm against. When in reality, it's like, no, not the case, not the case. Right? He's for the war on terror. He showed it in his presidency, right? So thus, why should we take you at face value, Anna, and just run with like the sentimentalities of what you're saying? Why should I run with that?
One issue coalition. That's the answer.
That's garbage. And in reality, that's fucking garbage. And if people thought about it, like it'd be obviously garbage.
Well, it can't work.
Listen. I get it in the sense of like, oh, it's hyperbolic. It's just regular social talk, right? Like, yeah, anything. You know, I'd be against anything, right? Or
yeah,
I'll accept anything for the sake of stopping this thing over here. Like,
you're being dramatic. Like, I get it.
But like, there's no. But listen, I can accept that as people just talking socially, but establish the other thing too. Please establish like, no, it isn't anything. There are limits. Explain that. Lock that down. Now you can just talk socially to me. Towards like, okay, I get what you're saying. You don't actually mean anything. You just mean for the sake of exaggeration to emphasize a point. Got it. You'll say anything. Got it. Right. But they haven't established the real thing, the real talk shit. They haven't established that yet. So now it's like, now we're relying on your idea of anything is a guessing game. What does anything mean at this point? It's a guessing game for the audience. Not that they're trying so hard. It's just more so if someone's like taking you seriously, it's a guessing game, which I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take them seriously. All right. But, all right. What's the play? There we go.
Forget the atrocities. Consider me as a white American who doesn't care what's happening outside it. This is coming out of my paycheck. This is coming out of all of our paychecks.
Yes.
I'm losing money.
And now we are suffering from homelessness, lack of health care, terrible education, and they have universal health care. They have like A-level university education, and they have almost free housing on our dime.
Yes.
We are paying from our own taxes for people to do Aliyah and go to Israel on a birthright trip and to go there.
They use our money to propagandize.
Yeah.
Okay, to basically try to brainwash Americans into supporting them and hating the entirety of the Muslim population.
Yeah. So Mehdi said something there.
Okay, the money thing will never ever work for me. That's not a matter of principle so much. It is, but it isn't. Right? You're saying you can use money to get people to be greedy about things or behave a certain way. Okay, fair enough. But losing money is not my concern in regards to any of this shit, bro. It really is. It really is like strictly principle and actions of human beings. That's where I'm at. It's listen, I would gladly lose money for the sake of, hey, this guy can have, food, right? He can have this person can have food now. I would gladly lose money for that. So the money argument is not a real argument to me for this topic, from my perspective, right? I get why people are. I get that there's people that are like, oh my god, man, like, why are they getting so much money, man? I don't get that money. Fuck them. Why are they getting money? I get that. I just think it's a lower hominid thought process versus.
It is, and it's also something that he's appealing to, obviously.
Yeah, it's like Tucker or Candace that are leaning more towards the right, I guess, and they appeal to money over. Yes, the idea of innocent lives being taken is brought up, right, in words at least, but one of the bigger narratives is money. Thomas Massey does the money thing, right? How much money are we giving Israel every year to do to do this or to do that? We're paying for their health care, as Anna said, right? But yeah, if they were not blowing people up, why would you have a problem with people being healthy somewhere other than where you're at? Like, okay, fine, awesome, right? They had no problem with that. In principle, like on paper, I have no problem with that.
Plus, I don't even think that's how their healthcare is getting paid. They have a parliamentary system, kind of like the UK, where they have something equivalent to probably like NHS or some shit. It's more modeled after that. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, most of the money is for military weaponry and shit like that, right?
Which
comes back to the US.
And also, I mean, they have private investment, but then like if you say, "Oh, no private investment there," then they're going to be like, "Oh, you don't like free markets." So I don't know. Good luck making those arguments with them.
It's
because they're going to say, "Oh no, our tax funds the public health system."
Yeah.
So.
This shit is it's so fucking fucked, man. We haven't even.
It is, but it's just like, why are like. At least do a little bit of research. Like, you can't say like, oh, the tax dollars are going to their birthright trips. I'm pretty sure that Sheldon Adelson like was one of the ones funding it, and a couple other organizations. Like, I don't think that has anything to do with like tax dollars.
If they can have research day and night on these things. It's more so like, are they asking the question, like really asking the questions? That to me is where that's a question is an attempt to diagnose what's happening here. You ask questions for that, right? Like, hey, what did happen here? And you like dig into it, and it leads to like other questions, right? These guys are not even like, they haven't even started like the actual, like, in my opinion at least, legit questions to lead to some sense of an answer to try to fix things. It feels like that they're stalling out on, coalitions versus actually trying to fix a problem. The questions aren't even right in the first place, in my opinion, or at least the way they're asking them.
Fair enough.
And the context of that, but all right, let's apply. Here we go.
So, I don't want to give them a pass. But brother, who asked you to give them a pass?
We don't
right? Like, so do we disagree on Tucker on abortion? Of course we do. Will we fight him tooth and nail on that issue? Of course we will. Who asked you to vote for him for president? Who asked him? We're not the Pope. We can't say.
Is your disagreement about abortion on a principle level, where it's like that thing right there is as much as a problem as blowing up people in Gaza? If that's the case, then you can't break from those. You cannot. They're not a waiting game. They are directly like, yo, you're off on this thing. Not saying they should do that. I'm just saying, like, if they are a principle level way against you, then it's way against you. And propping them up for the sake because they say words you like on a different topic, that's not good enough. Not good enough. And once again, the main question is like, do you believe them? They have to be authentically in a certain direction for you, right? It can't just be willy-nilly. You must think they believe what they're saying. That has to be part of it. That takes thinking, I guess, and Cenk's not into that. All right, here we go.
Brother, who asked you to give him a pass?
We don't
right? Like, so do we disagree on Tucker on abortion? Of course we do. Will we fight him tooth and nail on that issue? Of course we will. Who asked you to vote for him for president? Who asked him? We're not the Pope. We can't say, I now absolve you of all your sins, right? That's not how it works. But so the AOC thing pissed me off more, to be honest, because she's kind of saying like she rejected Marjorie Taylor Greene's help on the war. First of all, I don't know what that means.
So
no, can I just let me finish this?
Go ahead.
Because who are you to reject that help? Like, who asked you, and who are you to speak on behalf of all of us? So there's a giant anti-war movement who's thrilled.
You kind of deemed her as something
right?
to listen to.
Whether we agree or disagree with her on other issues. So, but on top of that, I was born Muslim. I obviously greatly empathize. My family's Muslim.
Born Muslim?
So you're gonna reject help for Muslims on our behalf? No, you're not. No, you're not. You don't speak for Muslims. And you don't get to reject allies for us on our behalf and go, no, I declare you anti-Semitic, so I will reject you. Well, okay, you reject them in a closet, okay, in a corner, but you're not rejecting them on my behalf or on any Muslim America's behalf or on the Palestinians' behalf. So
I don't understand, because he just said, like, well, AOC, as far as these guys are concerned, is on the right side of history when it comes to Gaza. So why aren't they, like, stop criticizing her? I don't get it. Like, leave her alone, because she's helping you out as a coalition to stop what's happening in Gaza, right, guys? Right, Cenk? Isn't that what they were just arguing the entire time?
Now she's getting in the way of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, okay. Got it. This all makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. Got it, TYT and Cenk.
It's coalition. It's inter-coalition conflict.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. Hey, fair enough, Cenk. About protecting the other half of the coalition from your mainstay.
She's preventing it. She's preventing it from expanding. She wants to keep it small, but they're trying to go big.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And that'll definitely play. That'll play for Tucker and Candace's audience, right? Of Cenk being like, AOC, shut up, AOC, shut up. Not that she's so amazing, but it's more the idea.
And they have credibility because it's like, oh, but we were one of the people who were pushing her. We have every right to,
Brilliant.
And they can kind of sell that because it's like, look, these are the people who knew her from the beginning. Listen to their testimonials.
I mean, I'm gonna call this a 3-ring fucking circus, personally. But we're here. We're here, though. Okay.
It's like, what?
I mean, like,
but that's how it is, though. That's the script, probably.
Yeah, it's just like in words. It should be like very like, just in words, like confusing as far as what you're hearing, and like if you watch for more than like, I guess like, I don't know, like 5 years, let's say like 5 years of watching TYT, you should be like confused as fuck right now, bro. You should be like, what? Okay. What do I do now? Cenk, tell me what to do. I don't get it. But all right, here we go.
Check yourself, because she's always talking about like how she stands up for marginalized communities. Bassem, I feel like we're kind of a marginalized community, to say the least.
We are, and the thing is, AOC. I'm sorry that you were going to say something about
Muslim ethnicity.
AOC reminds me with the long history of how Democrats give us lip service and then they do nothing. Like
this is Jimmy Dore show.
So like AOC, like, oh, well, we are against it. Like, but you have voted to give defensive weapon to Israel.
Right.
Same way with Obama, which is a huge disappointment, huge letdown. I was like a big Obama supporter, but now they're
red flag.
At least the Republicans are honest.
I mean,
I'm not saying that this
Republicans are honest.
There's one other thing about Republicans that I just need to say.
Like, this is just red flags.
I just my personal experience, right? And it could just be anecdotes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't like a widespread thing. Whenever you're trying to accomplish something solely with the left,
let me tell you.
Inevitably, infighting and nonsense ensues, okay? And then you don't accomplish anything. When the right decides they want something, and this is unfortunate when it comes to a lot of issues, including reproductive rights, but when they decide they want to accomplish something, not only do they go for it, they are singularly focused on getting it done.
Probably because their devil worshipping policies. So the overtly devil worshipping thing gets through. The hidden devil worshipping thing takes time. It's more nuance to it. Takes time to get through. That's what I'm saying personally. And once again, that's not a shot at anyone who's Republican in their own sense of things. It's that the thing that's actually happening in the government with the namesake of Republican are not what you think they are. Well, hopefully you figured it out already, but it's probably not what you think they are. And thus, it's overt devil worshipping, in my humble opinion. It's taking things from people rather than, being more conservative or responsible with finances and responsible with policies and all that stuff. It's not that, bro. They're actually trying to take things away from people. It's incredible. And let's be real, poor motherfuckers are getting tricked into saying, like, yeah, it's us. It's not you. You're getting fucking, pardon my language, you're getting raped and fucking reaved from these fools. They're doing this to you as much as anyone else. And yeah, that's probably, in my opinion, that's a scenario playing out. You may agree in words, but in actual policy and the way they use it, you're getting fucked. And Democrats are more, what I've seen is more of like a softer version of devil worshipping. Republicans are like all gun-ho. I love the fucking devil, man. They are that direction. I love the little guy. Fuck the little guy. Screw over the little guy. They overtly do that. Democrats do the same thing, but more subtle and quieter. That's my experience in what I've seen in regards to the world of politics. So no, like, once again, in a way,
Well, it makes them more effective.
what's that? Sorry.
It makes them more effective.
Oh, who? Democrats? Or...
The Democrats, yes.
In a way, yeah. In a way, yes. Mm-hmm. For others,
because all the things that Obama was able to accomplish, because no one was really asking questions, it's crazy. And he's got his stupid ass library. I'm sorry. It's just like, it's like, does it have who you droned, the families, a memorial for the families that you killed?
Yeah.
While you were in office.
I mean,
I hope you have all their names.
Dedication. No offense to them, but like a dumb fuck, I lean Republican person, like a dumb version of that, right? Mm-hmm. They'll be like, "Oh my God, these Democrats want nothing but illegal immigrants up and down our country." It's like, well, guess what? Obama bolstered ICE. The thing that you're using that Trump's using right now was bolstered by a Democratic politician, right? Democratic Party politician. It was bolstered by them. He could have let them fade out of existence. He could have let them fade, but instead he bolstered them. 100%. He bolstered them. So thus,
not just bolstered them, but utilized them.
Yes.
There was a lot of deportations.
Yes. But in those
they
quiet
were just
rooms.
Quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And they did it like county by county, city by city. But they came. I remember.
Gave them
because they went to places where people were in terms of like in masses, and those were restaurants and like Home Depots and things like that, but especially kitchens.
Yes, I agree, but I was using the idea of bolstering in the sense of like, hey, you guys have an actual reason to be doing what you're doing. That's what I mean by bolstering.
Yeah, they had jobs.
Where it's like, yeah, there's a job to be done, and you guys are doing it, so thus you're being bolstered essentially.
Yeah.
As he's like utilizing it too, right?
That's true.
And thus it led right into Trump's administration. It's led right into it, man. But then again, like it is what it feels sometimes like stomach turning to kind of try to like talk on that level, because I'm like, man, you guys are so fucking lost. I want to call you idiots all day and night. But I try to be nicer about it, but it's still like, oh my God, you fucking idiots. In regards to all these things, for even like culture war, DEI, and whatever, gay rights, whatever the fuck, right? You are fucking yourselves without even realizing it. Without even fucking realizing. You're fucking you and your fucking children's lives without fucking realizing you're doing that. And that hurts. It turns my stomach. Hurts my feelings. Because if you led with empathy, in my opinion at least, you wouldn't end up there. Like, well, what happens to the guy who's not me? Someone who's not the person who's not like me, from somewhere different in the country, with different beliefs and different way, a different way of life. What happens to them? That was not the question. The question was some sort of imaginary stereotype of someone or something, and going with that. And you got fucked for it. It's like, yo, you guys are fucking idiots. What can I do? I can try to be nice, but like the actual reality, my actual opinion is like, you guys are fucking idiots. You're fucking yourselves. But bragging about fucking yourselves, I get wrecked by that. You're bragging about you getting fucked. Remember the Venezuela thing? Like, yeah, this will come back to help us out. Like, you're getting fucked. And instead of be like, hey man, you know what? I didn't think about it too much. Let me go look into it. Instead of that, the answer was, you watch and see. Like, yeah, I'm gonna watch you get fucked. I'm gonna watch you get fucked. And it's like, it's disheartening to a large degree. But it is what, yeah, keep saying this, but it is what it is, kind of. The human problem is still the human problem. It's still there. It's still ever present. It's still a thing you have to actually entangle with. But unfortunately, will be the last resort. It'll be when the four horsemen are rolling down the street. Now it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should have thought about this. Now we'll start thinking about it. Got it, guys. We're waiting for that. Unfortunate, but seems to be the case, in my humble opinion. But let's apply. I guess let's keep going. Here we go. I saw the MK Ultra thing. I want to watch, but all right, here we go.
And I really envy that. I really envy that because I mean, people think like, oh, what's Anna up to? She's involved in a grift? No, I've been doing this show since I was 20 years old. I'm turning 40 this year.
No.
And I'm
You
sick
look
of
good
losing.
at 40. Okay.
I'm sick of losing.
She
Yes,
won.
I
You're
know.
not turning 29. That is
I wish.
That is
I
crazy.
wish. I'm
no.
a middle-aged
Okay.
woman now.
No.
Old lady, but it's okay. It's fine. Like, but the point is, you know, as you get older,
She knows she
Anna
looks
don't
good.
give a
look
fuck.
back at
She
your
knows she looks
life
good.
and what
She
you've
knows it.
accomplished or haven't accomplished.
We have the same
I love
birthday.
what I've
It's so
accomplished
weird.
here at TYT, but when I take a step back and I look at the country, what has been my part in making
don't
this
like it.
country either better or worse? And I don't know if I've made it worse. I definitely don't
Same
feel like
fire
I've made
sign.
it better. And I'm
Correct.
trying to recalibrate and think of other
The same fire
strategies
sign.
because I want to
Correct.
win. I don't care about coming on the
No,
show
we're
being
water
loved by
signs.
everyone. I want to make the country
I'm
better.
sorry.
It's that
You
simple.
and Anna are both made of fire. by the
May
way.
I throw
Say
like a last
No,
curveball
well,
to
everything
that
else is
conversation
Leo,
about who
but,
should we support and platform? And I know
my
that
main
this will
sign
come
is
as
Cancer.
a little bit unorthodox. You guys are aware with the whole thing, Dan Bilzerian and
both
Randy
fire
Fine.
people.
How did I
foundation.
know you were gonna say
Yeah. Because as a matter of fact, I would love for Dan Bilzerian to go in and win it. And I would love to even platform Dan Bilzerian and interview him. And I'll tell you why. And I know that Dan Bilzerian has like a lot of stuff that we can criticize. His past hedonistic lifestyle.
Criticize. Is
But
it immoral
wouldn't
or
it
to you or
be
not?
a sort of a poetic justice for people to choose that guy who was supposedly the least qualified for Congress just to
Unelectable,
tell
yeah.
people to AIPAC, we would choose anybody other than you, because that's what they did with Trump. They hated the left so bad. It's like, you know what? We're gonna get that guy, that convicted felon, and we would choose him over anybody. At least Dan
That's not
Bilzerian is honest about what he did. At least he's he's just like he knows what he did, and he said like, this is behind me, and I'm not hiding it. Other than the people in Congress who hide, at least Dan Bilzerian was not on Epstein Island.
So
What? That was like a pivot to just make a statement, I think. But that wasn't the perception of Trump, as in like, well, at least he's better than the Democrats. What I saw was this guy's going to change the world and save us when it comes to the regular audience, I think. Maybe you knew better, Bassem Youssef. But for the voters and fans of him, no, they viewed him as like he's going to change the world. He's going to stay out of wars. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to arrest the criminals and yada, yada, yada. And it wasn't based on like actual reality. It was based on like, well, they tried to take him down. So you know what? He must be good. They tried to kill him. He must be good. CNN doesn't like him. He must be good. You know, they tried to arrest him and convict him, or they did convict him or something. So he must be good. Russiagate, he must be good. That's been the narrative the whole time. And for some reason, Bassem Youssef thinks repeating all of that will be the answer to what Trump led to, right? I said it with Obama. I'll say it with Trump too. Of, hey, something to buck the system, something to change things, something to do something, right? We'll just vote for this guy to make something change at least. And you got the same shit, but perceivably worse. By their own standards, they got something worse. By taking a chance at like, hey, let's just support this guy because he's bucking the system. There's no way he's one of them because they tried to arrest him. Same with Candace and Tucker. Like, hey, there's no way that like these guys are getting hit piece articles about them. There's no way that they're gonna help them out because they want to protect themselves. There's no way that these guys will lead to something bad, or sorry, something worse than what we already have. I'm like, you are out of your fucking mind and have not been around politics long enough, apparently. Or you have, and you're full of shit. That's the options I see. You're either a fucking idiot, Bassem, or you're part of it. In my opinion, at least. See if they change the topic here, but here we go.
I'll tell you, well, yeah. That's why I say, by the way, vote for all Muslims running, because at least you know they're not going to support Israel. They're not going to give away your money to Israel. By the way, that's working in Michigan with Abdullah al-Said now taking the lead. Because why? Everybody, the media is like, oh, he was with Hassan Piker and they don't love Israel. Everybody's like, oh, they don't love Israel?
Yeah, that's good. And you know what? Go to any comments on any interview that Dan Bilzerian does, and every time they say like you're anti-Semitic. Everybody's like, my vote goes to Dan Bilzerian. And that is actually a qualifying quality right now to be anti-Israel.
That would definitely send a...
He didn't explain that. Right. Okay. And people would have room for the social surface level argumentation of like, hey, he's an anti-Semite. And people who support him must be anti-Semites too. They'll have social room for that. And that's what's called what's the saying? I don't know. As you're helping yourself, you're actually hurting yourself. Whatever that saying is that exists. That's what that's doing. As in, the answer to the quote unquote Israel problem will be, hey, are you Jewish? Are you a dual citizen? What are you doing in this country? What are you doing here? Right? It becomes something stupid like that. And thus, you actually work backwards, thinking you're going forward. And apparently, Bassem's okay with it. Fact,
Jesse said that the Obama deportations were not that quiet in Miami. They were regular, like, routine raids. And I was just going to say, in, like, D.C., Maryland, they were much quieter. The only way you knew about them was, like, you knew when they were coming. So then people in the back of the house wouldn't come to work. So there were instances where like they had to hire a whole new, crop of people.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. But it was definitely a regular thing.
Yeah. And my point was that like just by using them so much made them a justifiable existence to it. Not saying that I am actually against the idea of, hey man, this patch of dirt is not your patch of dirt. It's our patch of dirt. I think it's a fucking stupid, dumb fucking argument when it comes to life itself, right? And they'll know that one day. These dummies will know that one day when the lights turn out. It's like, yo, I'm dying now. What about your patch of dirt now?
I've been told that I'm parroting Soros talking points when I talk about borders. So it's like, well, no, that's what George Soros, the globalists, want. Is a borderless, like a borderless world where they can just take advantage of everybody. And it's like, dude, they're going to take advantage of or try to take advantage of people, whether there's borders or not. Like, I don't know why you think that these.
Well, if you ask them like the best possible answer, right? What's the best possible scenario for planet Earth to be in? It'll be borderless in their own minds, most likely, right? Most likely.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah, you could just go wherever you want to. Like, be free and go where you want to, because they want to be able themselves to go where they want to. So thus,
but their money's allowed to travel everywhere. So it's like, but not the people.
Well, I'm like, yo, fuck politics. Like, fuck politics. Like, let's get to life. What do you want to happen? What would be the best scenario
You should be able to go wherever you
in the
want.
world? They would
And it's
say
also
that.
like, okay, how about situations where there are things where like, okay, so near Australia, like all those islands that are sinking,
Yeah.
where are those people supposed to go? Yeah, like why wouldn't you offer them a home?
Well, see, that's
Like, what's wrong with that?
politics again. For me, that's what
No,
I
I'm
see
just
that as
saying, like,
politics.
you-
I'm going like, what's the
Well,
best
I'm saying
possible
they're
answer?
like, but they're just neighbors. They're just neighbors. So it's like, oh yeah, you can come over here. And I think they're like just going to Australia now.
Well,
So I
in
don't
my
know.
mind, the best possible answer would be like, yeah, those islands would not be sinking or getting covered in water, right?
What
Yeah.
if Bonnie Blue wants to use your
And
bedroom?
and yes, they could just leave those islands and go somewhere else if they want to. Like that's the
Yeah.
best possible answer, right?
Yeah, I
Without
agree with that.
violence, without harming anyone. You're just like, hey, I'm leaving here because I want to, see
Yeah.
what winter looks
You
like.
should be able to live wherever you want. I agree with that.
That's obviously the best possible answer, in my opinion, at least. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. So thus, their whole idea of immigration is based on their sense of like, well, this is the real world. Then you hear their actual assessments of the real world. It's like, oh, okay, you don't actually get that either. You don't understand that. You're making that up based on someone else,
Sure.
something that someone else told you. Got it. That's where you live at. So thus, it falls apart quite quickly, in my humble opinion.
Fair.
But yeah, no one wants to go.
That would be the best possible scenario in terms of like, yeah, you should be able to like pick up and go wherever you want. It's just like,
For fun, for
don't know.
love, for something. Like whatever.
no, for anything.
Yeah.
I don't get why that's even a thing where it's like, no. Within these borders, we have this GDP and we have this thing. All these arbitrary like notions of, I guess, whatever is happening around us that has been decided. And then people
Yes.
take credit for it. Oh, those are my people. Built this. My people
Well, the
built
point.
this magnificent. And it's like, okay, cool. That's nice. Like I'm not shitting on it. It's just like
You're going racism or some shit? Is that where you're going?
No, I said it's just I don't know why they're so attached to that, I guess.
It's probably a lack of self-value, but you know, it is what it is.
I guess it's I don't know. I think that it's okay to I think there is a sense of like people being a little bit more tribal with like people that, oh, they look like me. So I think there is a sense of that. And I think that goes for everybody. It's not just for the whites or the blacks or whatever. I think they all kind of are involved in that, which I just think is silly.
I think they'd view it as, well, yeah, I agree. There's people that are locked into their own prisons that think a certain way for sure. But overall, like in the bigger picture of things, the bigger, better idea, they'd be like, yeah, I'd love for someone that's from Mexico or Canada or South America to just stroll through their neighborhood, like that are absolutely harmless, not here to harm you at all, not here to hurt you at all, economically or physically, anything. They're just like, hey, I got this like really nice food. Want to try it? And you know it's not poison because the world is safe and it's all sane, right? So that's like in the perfect scenario, they'd want that to happen. They want, their cousin or their sibling or their child to be like, hey man, I'm going to my summer vacation, I'm going to fucking South America to experience the Amazon, right? They would want that, I would think, right? As far as like the idea of the best possible scenario. It's just we limit ourselves based on dumb fuck talking heads on our screens in regards to our own thinking. We limit ourselves based on these fucking idiots that have no imagination. Sorry, they lack severely in the realm of imagination. To where these bigger
Yes,
ideas
and curiosity.
are not,
And just, I don't know, like interest, like genuine curiosity. Like, this is cool. Like, what's this? I don't know. Like, just that, like,
well, it's
like, do you like the thing? I don't know. It's just.
It's the same thing as occupations, right? Where it's like, hey man, they just like want to be able to like, day off no matter what. Like, hey man, hey guys, I'm not coming into work today. Like that should be like, isn't that everyone's like, yeah, I want to be able to just do that if I want to. sure, if I want to be like diligent about my work and like really dig in and keep going and going and going, but you also want the option to be like, I don't want to today, and your life doesn't fucking crumble because of it, right? Like that's pretty. I would think that'd be the best scenario, even if you're selfish. That's a played
Yeah, that's
scenario
like a
you would
certain
want.
level of like inner stability, like where it's like, oh, I can just like take a day off if I need to, like, but I'm good either way. So,
Well, it's not.
I don't know.
It's not life or death. You know, if you
No,
do or don't go to work, whatever day. Like, that seems like something that you don't. You want to do it because you're doing it because you want to do it, right? If you want to change jobs, you can change jobs or pursue another expertise to get another job or whatever the fuck, right? You want to be able to do that. I would think. And if someone says like they're against that, like I'd ask them if they're out of their fucking minds. But are you mentally okay? I would have to ask that. It's like you don't want full blown freedom in what you do with your own fucking life. Like, come on, of course you do.
well, it's like, well, they'll make the argument about, well, the reason why people are switching around is because they lack focus or something. It's like, wait, what? So like your thing is to make people more focused? Like that's your I don't know.
Don't you want the ability to be focused but also lose focus? Don't you want both? Don't you want to be able to lose focus on something you don't care about anymore? Or whatever the fuck, right? Don't you want that choice or ability? And the actual counter argument I'll hear is it's not realistic. So thus I'd ask, like, well, what are you aiming for? What's your point then?
Well,
what
it would be
are
an
you
economic argument, most likely.
Oh, sure, but like what are they aiming for in the first place? And typically the answer I get is, well, it's not even the thing I'm asking for is not even doable, so it's not even possible. Okay, so then you're a slave. You're stuck. You're a slave. Got it.
And the
They won't
Fed.
accept that either. They won't accept being a slave either. So thus they counter with something else. And like, yeah, guys, what are we? We're circle jerking at this point. You guys have no fucking point, actually, when actually questioned. But all right, let's
Those
see.
are the real cul-de-sac kids. Go ahead. I think it's almost over.
All right.
I think he says a couple more really idiotic things. Good.
All right, here we go.
Message, and I see the benefit of that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one can only dream of a message that strong being sent. We'll see.
Okay, so two things real quick. So I'm Bilzerian. My only comment there is between Randy Fine, because that's who he's running against in Florida, and Dan Bilzerian, if those are your only two choices, Dan Bilzerian is 100 times more moral. Okay, so now that's obvious because Randy Fine has said that we should murder millions of people. Bilzerian hasn't said we should kill anyone. He has said outrageous things that are not true, in my opinion, about Jewish people, etc. So I'm not saying he's moral, but in terms of who's more moral, that's not a contest. But so for any decent human being, between not only nuking 2 million people in Gaza, which Randy Fine suggested, but he talked about slowly starving them to death. You can't be any more immoral than that. But if you ask people in Washington, mainstream media reporters or politicians, 100 out of 100 will tell you that Randy Fine is better than Dan Bilzerian. And they're 100% wrong. Not because Bilzerian is a good guy, but because Randy Fine is one of the worst human beings on planet Earth. But since he's up Israel's ass, they're like, oh, well, you want to murder people as long as it's for Israel, right? So, and
yeah, Carl Salzman shot. Got it. If I reverse the scenarios and make it, hey, there's a giant state, relatively giant state of Palestine and tiny little tribes of Israel, and they're being shit on. And Dan Bilzerian and Randy Fine like switch places, as in Randy Fine's like, yo, they don't care about Jewish people here. Look what they're doing. They're slaughtering us, right? Now he's more moral, all of a sudden, which means your moral is not an actual moral, is it? Is it? It's a PR. It's PR. He's using morality as a PR term, not as an actual idea of morality, and thus the idiots that follow that will probably eat shit intellectually. Oh, well, or whatever. You know, maybe they'll be fine and comfortable and ignore the problems with that statement. They say, you know, fair enough. But yeah, don't walk around me because I'll fucking question you about it. Let's apply. Here we go.
Finally, my embarrassing confession.
Oh.
Okay, so
is that a surprise?
Yeah.
Okay.
So look, Candace told you in that clip that we just showed you, Bassem, that she got her ideas about, wait, maybe we're wrong about Muslims from you. Okay.
No, about the killing, yes,
yeah, and how bad the killing was in Gaza, and it woke her up, and then she started thinking. So now, so it goes from you to Candace, and here's the embarrassing part. So when Candace first said a while back, you know, I've been the victim of Israeli propaganda my whole life, and they got me to hate Muslims.
Yeah.
That was the first time I thought, oh, wait a minute, it was Israeli propaganda. Like, I had never thought of it because it's like, I grew up here. So when you ask a fish, how's the water? He says, what water, right? So my experience was, what is Israeli propaganda? You know, part of the reason I despise mainstream media so much is because I believe them. They brainwashed me into believing nonsensical things like Ronald Reagan is a cowboy and he's a guy, you know, running a shining city on a hill. And
that means you're a bot, Jank. That never happened to me, ever. You're just a bot. And in fact, you should reassess your botness when it comes to politics. You really should. I don't know, like, other than like the dweeby kids, you're like, oh my God, Rachel Maddow said this. Other than that, man, like, who the fuck do you know like that? Like, you're just a bot, man. Like maybe you're being a bot right now without realizing it. If you're saying, hey man, I fell for this at some point in time, maybe you should ask the question like, hey, am I falling for something right now? Am I susceptible to something right now? All right, that should be a worthy question for you, Jank. But will Jank do that? Nope, he'll just sweat and sell me a car, basically. Here we go.
And you know, and
Obama is great.
Intellectually lazy.
And Obama's amazing, and he's for real change, right? Et cetera, et cetera.
Lowest form of
and they have been brainwashing us by calling Muslims terrorists when Israel attacked them and took their land over and over and over again in 48 and 67, again during Gaza. And the entire time American media was like, no, the one taking the land, the one doing the genocides, the one doing the attack are the victims.
Yeah.
And they're, oh my God, the victims of Israel. I mean, what a bunch of preposterous liars, right? All lying to us in unison to get us not just to support Israel, that would be one thing, but to hate Muslims so that it's easier for Israel to attack them. And you don't feel bad because they just killed terrorists,
war on terror?
According to American media. And so when Candace said that, it kind of did a light bulb for me, even though I grew up Muslim American, right? Okay. And so don't tell me that Candace hasn't made a difference. And you could say, yeah, I don't believe the First Lady of France has a penis. So what? So what? Okay. Oh, if you agree with Candace on one thing, you have to agree with her on everything. Why? Who made up that rule?
Yeah.
Who made up that preposterous rule?
Yeah.
No, that.
It's more so like, hey, if she's lying about this, she could be lying about that. That's more of the scenario, Jank. But he's not actually thinking, right? He's bloviating as a character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The spiel.
Someone's gonna fall for that, and they're gonna tell me to shut up. They'll tell all of us to shut up about this, about asking questions about Cenk Uygur. It's quite interesting, huh? Quite interesting. Oh, thank God I'm doing psychology next. Thank God for that. All right, here we go. Like, this is fucking, I mean, a small puddle on a corner of a fucking street. A centimeter deep puddle. These guys are that fucking lame. And unfortunately, like, we're here. It is what it is. Let's apply. There we go.
Rule is made up to divide us, right? So no, Candace and Tucker and Megyn Kelly now are shockingly, yes, it is shocking, but it's absolutely true. They have been terrific on the issue of war, Israel, and being kind to Muslim Americans. If you want me to reject that kind of help, sorry, but there's no chance I'm gonna do that. It's a very unfair ask. And And honestly, I don't
so,
like
like,
the problem with
beyond
puritanical
dumb.
people is because they believe that they are more moral than others, right? They are so moral, they cannot have their morality stained with any kind of association with anyone who's ever said anything wrong, but which, by the way, is all of us. They've tried to cancel all of us for any transgressions in the past, right? So sorry, but I don't think you're more moral.
May I add something like a detail that a conversation that happened between me and Candace Owens off camera?
You know what? Let's hold that thought.
Okay,
So
go
we
ahead.
gotta take a quick break. Let's do that when we come back. Personal.
Okay. Skip. Okay. Candace off camera, right? Here we go.
All right.
Your music doesn't mean caring. By the way,
Dirge,
guys.
I think slightly
Trash
disagrees
cans.
with us. These are members on TYT.com. Says, let's look forward, not back, right? If it's a crime, no, we look backwards. That's
you
how
can
it works.
pass through all
If
this
it's not a
too.
crime and it's just a
This is all
transgression,
climate.
people we still change so that my to that are different because maybe
It's
because
still
Manny didn't grow up
answering
here, but as a person, as a Muslim American who grew up here, if I eliminated
Arab American,
anyone who says something bad about Muslims,
Oh, makes sense.
I'd eliminate almost everyone in politics. So then who am I going to work with? I'm just going to sit there and yell into a closet, right? It doesn't make any sense.
I feel like
nothing
we've done that
done.
for many, many years.
Yeah.
Right?
No, you didn't. You guys played ball, actually. On paper.
Yes, they did.
On
They
paper,
played the other side of the dialectic.
They
Yeah.
played right into the other side of the dialectic perfectly. Hysterically.
Yeah, you guys aren't revolutionaries. I'm sorry, you're not that. Even in
We
like
played into that.
dangerous versions that I think that can take on, you're not that either. So you're not revolutionaries. You're wet napkins, I guess. Wet napkins. The best I can do with this on paper, right? That's damning as it is, but it could be worse. Believe it or not. But wet napkins. That's my description of TYT. And don't worry, Bassem can get some shit done through TYT. He can get some shit done. There we go.
Well, yeah, in a little bit.
Can I add my personal story?
Yeah, one
after you.
second. We're almost out of this break. We'll be
Okay.
right back.
Okay.
Oh, another break? Okay. Yeah, you gotta. Even Bassem had to laugh at that. He's like, oh, okay, we should put the commercial. Another one?
Memberships on YouTube. You're
Okay.
he's
Read your membership thing.
YT.com member here.
Okay.
In my
Had about foreign policy with Glenn Greenwald. Conversations and me, but honestly, she's had a longer relationship with Glenn Greenwald and she trusts him. And he is obviously an expert on foreign policy. So conversations
expert?
with people,
For real? I didn't know
including
that.
those you vehemently disagree with.
Wait. Glenn Greenwald's an expert on foreign policy? Did anyone I didn't know that. Did anyone else know? I never knew that.
I thought he was a constitutional lawyer.
Yeah,
But,
I've heard that idea before. But
Mhm.
an expert on foreign policy? No, he does quite a bit of narrative driving when he talks about
Absolutely.
geopolitics and foreign policy. So I didn't view him as an expert on anything in regards to foreign policy. So okay, that's news to me. Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna hit play, but like skip this shit. I want to hear Bassem's
people
Candace singing. I guess.
Because of that, but partly because of that, and then Candace 100%. I mean, look at this cycle that Bassem set up. Bassem goes to talk to Candace. Candace then has a conversion, not just because of that, but partly because of that. And then Candace affects others, and then Tucker and Meghan start to affect not just Republicans but independents. We're affecting independents, and you're getting into an ecosystem here that is going in the right direction instead of the wrong direction.
So tell us about your conversation.
Are you
with-
sure? Can
I
I say
want to
that?
spill the tea. Spill the tea.
So off
Sorry,
camera,
another commercial? Sorry.
I was asking Candace, it's like, I mean, you seem to be very smart, but you were parroting propaganda. I mean, how did this happen? He said, like, you don't understand. They get us from a very young age. I was picked up when I was 18. And then
From whom?
Like the circle that they put you around you, like picked up, like Ben Shapiro, the Daily Wire, all of that. And
It doesn't make sense. Pause it.
I said,
that
so
doesn't
what
make sense.
happened?
At 18, she was suing her school at the NAACP for like some racist jokes.
Yep.
So that doesn't make sense because then she said she was a quote unquote liberal until she was in her mid-20s.
She took the path.
So when
of,
did Daily Wire pick her up? Huh?
She took the path
18.
of least resistance for the sake of fame.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
that's what I see her as. I think she's a psychopath personally. Like
Yeah.
at least sociopathic, and will do what's necessary for the sake of maintaining a name or an image or something like that. I truly believe that about Candace Owens. She, once again, human being, 100%, right? And I would talk to her any day of the week. I 100% would. But she would not like the questions coming at her at all. Shout out to Killing Eve. Is that the show? Killing Eve, right? With Jodie Comer. To
The
where
movie?
and Sandra Oh. No, it's a TV show. Killing Zoe's the movie, right? Killing Eve is a show where she's basically a psychopath.
Oh, wait, with the Asian lady?
Yeah, Sandra Oh. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Sandra Oh.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's not a bad. It's actually a pretty good show. I didn't finish it, but it's a pretty good show that I saw. And there's a statement saying like, "Hey, psychopaths do not like they do not like being called psychopaths." Where it's like a, oh my god, like have to actually like look into the mirror type of thing. So they don't want to see that, right? And sorry, Candace, I would ask questions that would lead in that direction, where it's like, damn, where's your sense of empathy? Make your voice louder and yell louder about whatever topic or about how much you care. But then there's like, I think there is something we can recognize of like, something's missing here. Something's not quite, in my opinion, at least, my personal intuition of like, are you really in on these things? Or is it, essentially a petty grievance, potentially? To where it's not actually about care and empathy. And I genuinely have those questions about Candace Owens. Does that make her worse than anyone else? No, not at all. Not at all. But it's a part of making assessments for the sake of understanding like why they're doing what they're doing. And when I see Candace talk about Charlie Kirk and turn it into, I guess, how awesome Candace is, or how good she is, that to me is a worrying thing to see, or at least noteworthy. I'll say that, very noteworthy. But these guys are not going to ask those questions, right? Not Bassem, not Anna or Jank. They're not going to. Instead, they'll play to her social cues of smiles and social what's the word? Affectations, I guess. We'll watch her play to that. I'm like, yo, you being for real? Are you lying? What are you doing? You playing a role for me, or are you like talking for real? And that is worthy of asking Candace, in my humble opinion. But that, I guess, it's a side note, I guess. But all right, here we go. Okay.
Even when you're starting to switch, it's like, first of all, when I started tweeting about like what is happening, like her first awakenings. First of all, they send you your friends, your circle of friends. They start talking.
That's like, what awakening means.
We don't like what you're happening. They send the people that you love, that are very close to you. Yeah, oh, like this is very concerning what he said. And then that holds me back, and then I take 2 steps back, and then when I go further, then they come with the threats.
Oh no.
Then they comes like, your career might be derailed. So they do that. First of all, they go in with the love. And then they go in with the threats. And then at a certain point, it's like, wait a minute, these are not my friends, these are my handlers.
I feel like that's happening to Theo.
Okay, so this is what I would ask Bassem as like an actual critical question rather than trying to vibe with him. I'd vibe too, but like I'd have some tough questions too. And I'd ask him, yo, Bassem, listen, if Candace, who is apparently against these things that you're against too, if she said, you know what, in the meantime, like, oh, well, while I'm like playing this role or being this person on screen for everyone, I take out, I PR wise take out someone that you like without any real moral reason, just strictly just for the sake of like he's in my way or against me or something like that, right? right? Let's say there's like a quote unquote purist, right? A puritanical content creator, right? That you like Bassem. And they're saying, like, Candace is not the real deal. Fuck Candace. Would you, PR-wise, knock them down to protect your golden calf over here, Candace? Would you do that? Those are worthy questions because we've seen the behaviors before, right? We've seen that behavior. So thus that question is mighty worthy. I would wish to ask him that when it comes to the idea of like, hey, Candace is a useful tool for you, or as far in your own words, right? And Hassan says something similar when it comes to AOC or Bernie, right? They're useful tools, but can they go too far on a personal level or on a let's say they shit on you, Bassem. They shit all over your life story, your background, your comedy, all of it. Like, fuck this guy, he's trash. But you know what? Free Palestine. Would you shut up and get out of their way? What would you do? Would you say, hey man, this is bigger than me, so I'll let Candace or Tucker or whoever like shit on my life? Would you allow that? And yeah. Worthy questions that are not going to be asked. Let's apply them. Here we go.
Certain points, like, wait a minute, these are not my friends, these are my handlers.
I feel like that's happening to Theo Von right now. So just recently,
Theo Von? Huh?
Rogan threw Theo Von under the bus. Like, Theo Von was on Rogan's show and just really opened up to Rogan and his audience about what he's feeling, like just this dread over the state of the world, what the government of the US is getting involved in the Middle East, AI. Like, you can tell that he's tormented by a lot of the things that we're tormented by. And Joe Rogan was like basically gaslighting him and making it seem like he's losing his mind. Maybe it's the antidepressants he's on. And then later, when Theo's not even on the show, he starts talking about Theo Von on his podcast.
And he said he might kill himself. Like, it's all about like how he did the show and didn't go well, and he kind of like hinted that, oh, you know what, he's not in a good place. And
I really didn't like that. That was not appropriate.
That was terrible. And Theo Von, by the way, and I hope Theo forgives me for kind of saying this, because this was a private conversation. He wanted to host me. I went on Theo Von, but this took 2-3 months. Every time he said, like, I want to get you on the show, and then he would change his mind. And then I understood that he was under a lot of pressure for him not to get me on the show.
Oh, wow.
And he said, like, there was threats about like people walking and sponsoring. And then he said, like, you know what, I don't care.
It's like fucking brunch.
It's breaking my heart.
Okay.
And I need to do that. And I have to say, Theo Von is one of the nicest, sweetest person ever. And his heart is in the right place. And we need to protect this guy.
I agree.
And he's not suicidal. He's not.
None of us are suicidal, to be absolutely clear, okay? So, all right, but
I have my cats, I need to live for them.
Look,
cats are awesome. Fair enough.
One last thing about that. If you're claiming that the supporters of Israel do not put pressure on media figures to support Israel, you're on a different planet. And it's a weird thing to claim. Like, you didn't.
What pressure, right? What can work? Hey, does money work? That means you weren't actually the guy you claimed to be in the first place, so you're gone, right? If you have a shady past that these guys like dug up dirt on, okay, you're gone too, I guess for whatever reason. So what's the big deal? I don't get it. Here we go. I guess it's like special pressure. Extra special Israeli pressure. Okay, fair enough. Here we go. Makes no sense to me, but okay, here we go.
Go through that. Wait, what do you mean I didn't go through that, or Bassem or Theo Von didn't go through that? Are you saying that we just made up the whole story? I talked about this yesterday on the show. It's like civil rights workers coming back and saying that they had hot coffee thrown in their face when they were sitting on counter diners in Alabama, and they go, liar, you're offending the white people. It's all your fault. No, why are you invalidating my experience, right?
What?
No, it definitely has happened to me dozens, if not hundreds of times. where supporters of Israel have attacked and tried to hurt our business, tried to hurt our careers, have tried to block us in 100 different ways, have doxed our spouses, etc. Don't tell me that there aren't thugs who support Israel in this country that don't do that, because that is gaslighting I cannot bear, and everyone should know you're a giant liar if you say that, right? So what the trick that they do is, are you saying all Jews do this? No, we literally, no one ever said that, right?
Except for Israelis.
Audience
no.
Right, aren't they the ones who conflate it? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they're like, oh, you're attacking all Jews. No, brother, literally no one said that. You just made that up to hide behind Jewish people as human shields. We're saying Israel supporters did that. I have Jewish family, they didn't do it to me, right? I have tons of Jewish friends, they didn't do it to me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Other people who are diehard, ludicrous, lunatic Israel supporters, which there are tons of them in this country.
Mark Levin
have done that to
Loomer.
all of us. And then unfortunately, a lot of people turn around in media and politics and they go, no, you're the one who's a bad guy, okay?
She just threw that in there.
Attack
Yeah,
you.
she did.
It's your
Larry
fault.
Loomer.
You shouldn't say that. You're lying. Okay, well, all right, then you're part of them. You're part of the thugs who are intimidating not just Muslims in this country, but anyone who dares oppose Israel. I've now talked to dozens of people who have been fired from their jobs, regular people, doctors, carpenters, random people, including Jewish Americans, who have been fired for opposing Israel. And then every time you tell the media, they're like, oh my God, you've hurt Israeli feelings. Who cares about you? You're irrelevant. Shut up, you don't even support Israel. But you have offended someone important and real, an Israeli supporter. Okay, well then you're admitting you're racist, which is pretty much all of mainstream media.
Let's talk about some fugitives, yeah? All right, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Well, that was a bunch of PR. It's, I don't know, like someone like figuring out like, hey man, people don't like this. And now they give like a Braveheart fucking speech of how important it is to fight this thing. It screams that versus genuine concern or care for potentialities of harm happening in the world, right? It screams PR to me. Same with Anna too, and Bassem is openly saying it's about PR. He's openly saying it in this whole conversation. Fucked, and fucked. But you know, in right now, 2026, July 1st, you'll be called stupid for thinking so, or saying so, actually. In 5 years, you'll be a genius, but don't worry, no one heard you the first time you said it. And that is a problem of psychology, which I'm going to move on to for me personally, as far as content goes. But either way, there's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree or disagree. Let it be known. I'm sure. Hey man, it's serving the message. It's serving the topic, right? The idea. I get that. I really do get that. I understand. I just think when you go this route of full-blown strategy, you end up fucking yourself later on. But like, what do I say?
It's the same thing as the guy reviewer, the movie reviewer said. It's not about the movie; it's the message thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like that level of stupid.
In a way, yes. Although this is more of like hyper realism, where it's, in their imaginations, right? They're like, oh my God.
But that's kind of what he was asking for as well. It's like, it's not like, forget about everything you saw. Just like focus on the symbol of.
Yes. But these guys' like imagination is like, hey, sorry, the audience, their imagination's kind of like, oh well, we'll agree on this topic, get it done with. Clean your hands off. Clap, clap, clap. Clean your fucking hands off. All right, done with that. And now we'll get to the other issues. When in reality, the question was morality and morality the entire time. How are they going about whatever topic? Why are they doing it? Like, those little seeds can lead to your own destruction for what you want personally, right? You can get fucked politically. I'll say politically. You get like fucked politically because, like, oh my God, you know what? Whoever, Tucker, Jenk, Anna, Candace, they're saying the exact words I want to hear on a platform that has whatever amount of viewers, right? So thus, it's worthy because it'll put a spotlight on that topic, right? But in reality, it's like, well, the way they go about it and, what can happen afterwards are also vitally important to the whole problem of the whole thing that you have a problem with. Very vital, actually. So thus ignoring that is kind of dumb fuckery. I think it's dumb fuckery, to be honest with everyone. It can lead to like some major problems, dude. It really could. But it's not being considered for the sake of alleviating some sort of, once again, totem of a topic, which is not the topic by itself. Gaza is not just Gaza by itself. The problem with Gaza is not just Israel. It's a giant fucking problem. It's a human problem. It's widespread and giant. So thus, you fixing a mole on the ass of corruption is not fixing the ass itself of corruption. You can think that, you can feel that way, it can feel good for the time period, but overall, it's not actually not providing the actual answer towards anything. And you should be striving for the actual answer. You should be striving towards that. Like, truly. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing? Like, hey, man, it's going to happen again, just in, maybe not Gaza, but somewhere else, let's say, right? And it's like, well, what'd you accomplish? Well, at least Gazans are fine, but these guys over here are fucked. Well, now we're on those guys. Now we'll help them out. Hey, guys.
Now it's their turn.
The problem went back to Gaza again. Now what? Oh, well, now we're going to look at Gaza now and fix that problem. But now it's back in the other place again. Like, it should be like encompassing when it comes to principles, morals, and your actual like personal direction or attempts to try to fix things. It should be so direct. It should be a fucking arrow, not a fucking shotgun pellet. Shotgun pellets, right? Where it just blasts entire like canopy of things, but not so efficiently in one area or another, right? It should be very direct. And instead of like, fuck arrows, let me shoot like shotguns. It should be like, yo, let's shoot more arrows. More and more arrows. More and more directly towards the topic things. More and more of that. But apparently that's unrealistic, so thus it's not even attempted in the first place. They haven't proven it's unrealistic. There's no proof of that yet, but they still go there anyways. And that is topic to topic to topic. And thus they ask the question like, hey, how come nothing's changing? How come the same thing is happening over and over and over again? And it's like, God dang it, dude. Like, examine the thing. You're in it. Examine it. And these political motherfuckers are just, they're not doing that. They're going with, they accept PR. They're apparently so desperate, they'll accept, hey man, I'm against this. All right, you're on our team. You're one of us now. You're on our team, right? Candace or Tucker, you're on our team, man. You're one of us. You're part of the coalition because you said words out loud. That's how shallow and dumb fuck we've gotten, apparently.
One issue coalition.
Yeah. They haven't even asked, like, do they believe that? Are they actually genuine about their ideas in a certain direction?
It doesn't matter. He's
asked.
more worried about this stuff. Jake said he's only worried about what Tucker says out loud. He doesn't care about what he thinks in secret. Laughed nervously.
It's just like, that's, like, come on. We've seen enough movies. We know that's not going to fucking work. Overall, it's not going to fucking work. But whatever, I get it, though. I still get it. I try to empathize, and I get it. But whatever.
It's dumb.
I agree. but we're here now.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
but please leave a comment if you have something.
And I really don't have
otherwise.
that much respect for it. I'm just being honest. Like, I know I argued with Ed about this, and yeah, I just don't have any. Have very little respect actually for that.
Like intellectually,
Personally.
right? Where it's like, this is
Yeah.
kind of dumb. This is
Oh no, I respect everybody as a human, but like just in terms of like
efficiency. It's like kind of like
in terms of
lacking,
like
right?
whether it's efficiency, but especially like integrity and just overall like just as an idea, I don't have very much respect for it. And to be honest with you, I don't really have a lot of respect for the motivation of it either. So
I basically agree. It's like the limits of just respecting something in the sense of like, okay, a human said it, and they might believe it. So thus, that level of respect for me, that's my limit right there. That's my level of respect for it. But when it comes to like actually being like, once again, the things I care about, like from principle to morality to even efficiency, I'm like, nah, son, nah. This is not going to play out the way they're kind of projecting to the audience, and the way the audience is projecting back to me. By the way, like the things I hear, it's nah, not not going to work out. I don't think too well. But either
seems like they're grifting. That's just what it seems like to me.
fair enough. But
Yeah.
I will, leave a comment if you have a idea one way or another. Please do so. Don't forget to share support. Hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Also, please check out the Discord link if you want to join that. We're in that Discord right now.
And by grifting, I'm specifically referring to Anna and Shank because I can speak more confidently on those two.
Okay.
With Bassem, it's still up in the air, but just because I haven't gathered enough information. But not that there's like a specific amount of information. There's. I'm just observing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, but I can say with a little bit more confidence that I do believe Anna Kasparian and Jank are they're engaging in grift-like activities. So
fair enough. And for me, I could say at the very least, like, whether grifting or not, this was not thought about too much. There wasn't like a bigger thought thing happening. So thus, that's why, I mean, guaranteed off rip, I have a gripe with what they're saying from Bassem to Anna to Jank.
Yeah.
At the very least, this is not well thought out.
Yeah.
It's more
but with Jank and Anna, it's like I don't think they even believe what they're saying. I think this is like okay, this is the direction we're gonna head. This is like you said, it's like a marketing kind of a strategic maneuver pivot. If you will.
Yes, I can definitely go there.
With
my own like guesses and thoughts, yes, I can definitely go there, 100%. But at the very least,
that's why I call it a grift.
Okay, fair enough.
Specifically,
fair enough.
Yeah. I just wanted to be very specific about like why I refer to it as that because I don't use that word lightly.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say like perception-wise, for whether you're, I mean, I'm kind of with you on that in regards to the way these guys move around. But if you don't want to go there, at the very least, you can consider like their answers are not complete, right, guys? Right, audience? Like they're not. There's room for questions about all this stuff at the very least.
Right. Part of their strategy.
What's that?
I think that's part of their strategy. You only address certain things, like you said, like you pick out specific things that you respond to.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, you got to hit certain marks. Like these are professional television people. Media trained.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
And you're friends because, we shared a laugh on a broadcast. Now we're friends, apparently.
You're business partners. Yeah.
It's like, is that what that means? Okay, guys. But for the audience, at the very least,
Fair enough.
there's
Mhm.
questions very much worthy to be asked of these fools, in my humble opinion. And until you get those answers, like, you have to leave room for the possibility of them being like shady or full of shit. Honestly, you have to leave room for that. Otherwise, I think you're faking it. It's maybe a desperation or a faking of actually caring about the issue that's on the table, in my opinion, at least. But either way, if we're wrong, like, please show up and tell us we're wrong in the Discord. We're there right now, so please do that if you want to. Everything that's shown today, or basically this video, please, it'll be shared for you to look at on your own. There's much more content after this. What are they like? There's like almost 2 hours left. Yeah, almost 2 hours left of content here. And yes, you can use any topic to do your best to try to assess someone or understandings of someone. So yeah, use all of it that you can get your hands on. So please do that. Most importantly, with all that said, give this video a thumbs down. Bye.